Yeah. Black man unfiltered network. We ain't here to play nice. We here to flip everything they told you was normal. Hey! Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we flipping tables. Yeah. We breaking labels. Facts. No more silence, no more favors. Truth hit hard, can't save you. Yeah. We flipping tables. This that real, no cable. Hey, if it's fake, we unplug it. Welcome to the table. Yeah. I came in the room, they was comfortable, quiet. Smiling in your face, but behind it is riot. They told me be calm, but I'm built for the storm. When the truth in the building, you better transform. They don't like a man when he speak with direction. They love you when broken, confused, and correction. But I'm on a mission, I'm changing perception. No filter, no fear, just raw intersection. System designed just to keep you disabled. Mentally trapped, spiritually labeled. I'm cutting the cords, the lies getting fatal. If it ain't the truth, I'm flipping in the table. We flipping tables. Yeah, we breaking labels. Facts. No more silence, no more favors. Truth hit hard, can't save you. Yeah, we flipping tables. They said don't question, I said watch me. Too many men out here living sloppy. No guidance, no code, no structure, no lead. Now we wonder why families bleed. This ain't hate, this accountability. Look in the mirror with this vulnerability. Masking and frame with responsibility. That's what they fear, that stability. I'm calling it out, no sugar, no glaze. We breaking these cycles, we shifting in the phase. Legacy built, not lost in the maze. We done being silent, we entering rage.
This ain't just a podcast. It's a movement, it's a reset. If it's built on lies, it gotta fall.
We flipping tables, no fear, no fables. Black men rise, we stable. Now we changing the label. We flipping tables. Truth is non-negotiable. Black man unfiltered. This the voice, they ain't controlling. Flippin Tables Podcast. Black man unfiltered network. If it don't make you uncomfortable, it ain't real. Yeah. Black man unfiltered network. We ain't here to play nice. We here to flip everything they told you was normal. Hey! Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we flipping tables.
All right. We back in the building again tonight, man. I'm so glad to be back up in the building. We're about to have a great conversation. If y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. All right. Yeah, I think I sound pretty good out there. All right, man. We back in the saddle again, man. We got another great show for y'all guys tonight. Who gets a seat at the table? We're gonna jump right in here. Who gets a seat at the table? All right. Leadership, power, and the gay community debate, right? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight on Subject on Time. We got some new people in here that are going to bring some perspective to the show as well. And let's see here. Who's inboxing me right now? Okay. So we're about to get it in. We're about to have a great conversation tonight. But before we do, man, there's some house rules. Guys, if you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with 2 people you like, 1 person you don't like. All right. Also, if you want to give to the channel, you want to buy your boy some lemonade, listen, the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and at the bottom of the chat, we do have super chats as well. So if you want to give that way, that'd be great as well. I also would love to have you guys become members of this channel as well. If you want to become a member of this channel, please become a member of this channel. If you'll see it down at the bottom as well. So become a member of the channel. We'd love to have you. Love to have some private streaming with you guys, so on and so forth. So But I'm glad you guys are here. If anybody wants to have anything they want to say in the chat tonight, please start the conversation in the chat. Also, if you do give a super chat, we definitely will shout you out and also read and answer any questions you send to us through by way of the chat. All right. Now, again, tonight, who gets a seat at the table? Last week, if you guys don't remember, this is what happened last week.
Men are the cancer of the black community. Argue with your man.
Listen to this. This show is called Black Men Unfiltered, and we sit up here arguing over what a man who gave up his masculinity got to say about us who's still on the fight on the front line. The fuck out of here, bro. I ain't never lying for that.
Illa, I'm asking this question in good faith. Is he still a black man regardless of sexuality? Yes. Come on.
He's not. No.
And that's where you're being disingenuous, bro.
And that's the problem. Y'all think
Come
we're
on.
the same because of how we look. No, you the same based on the principles you study. If you Asian and you go against the household of that Asian community, they're not fucking with you no more.
They not.
You have to live a certain way to be a part of it.
We're black Americans with American culture.
I don't give a fuck.
That guy can't sit at the table. If we're sitting around the table, as men, Tyrus, that motherfucker can't be at the table.
There you go.
He ain't gonna be at the table.
How black men,
Outnumbered, bro.
I don't understand how a black man cannot be at that table.
Guy
Go
can't.
sit with your women and children. That's where you at. That's
But
where
he's not a woman and children. He's a
That's
black
where he
man.
gonna sit.
All right, man. That's what we started at last week. Who gets a seat at the table? Now, listen. I personally, before we start this thing, I personally believe that if there's country clubs out here, there are fraternities and sororities, which I don't agree with, that are out here. There are all type of private and different things going on. Everybody can't get a seat at the table. There are certain places I can't walk into and have dinner because I'm not a member. I'm not important. I'm not on the board. I'm not a person that's a member. I have not invested anything into it, and I can't bring any value to it. So I'm not a member. I can't be a part of it. And that's what we're saying in our community. If you are, I'm talking specifically, we're talking about black men tonight. If you are a black man in the community and you're supporting all this homosexual power shift, then that's a problem. If you're supporting me and saying that men who are feminine can sit at the table with us as we talk about raising our sons and we're talking about raising our daughters, we won't have feminine men sitting at the table with us. Hey, man, I would do this and I would do that. No, as the great JT would say, if you dropped out, Philosophical said, added to it last week, if you dropped out and you gave up your masculinity, why do you want to sit at the table with men who have masculinity? Why would you want to do that? And so if you chose a life, you chose a journey, stay on the journey that you're on. But what we're not going to do, we don't need you over here. You can't have a seat at the table over here. And that's facts. Now, also, guys, if you're just coming in, like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be a part of this fire panel tonight, you are welcome to do so. Get on up here. The link for this show is in the chat. If you have something you want to say, but make sure there are no kids in the background. There's no loud TVs on in the background. There's no background noise. Make sure that the lighting in your room is good and make sure your camera's on. All right, because when we clip this, we don't want to make it seem like you Darth Vader sitting in the back room by a refrigerator. Make sure that your light's on. Make sure you're good to go. All right, no background noise. All right. So listen, I got a couple of fellas here tonight that I'm going to bring up, and we're going to start having the discussion. And as the other guys come in, as they come in later, we'll continue the conversation. But I want to this clip that I just played. I definitely want to rehash that before we get into the new clip of the day, because Medium Man, my guy, all right, I invited him, but he's super busy, and I've done panels with him before, so man, it would have been great if he could have been here tonight. But however, he has another video he dropped today about this situation, and we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about it tonight. All right, shout out to Medium Man. But I want to bring up first my brother from another mother, man. Oh, man, he's in the coldest part of the country when it's wintertime. Give it up for my brother, a Cleveland Browns fan, Ohio State fan, a Shadur Sanders fan, all things brown and dog over there. Give it up for my brother from another mother, man. The Baldy himself is in the building tonight. Give it up for Tyrese.
Forgot to add pissed off Cavs fan right now. We losing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, pissed off Cavs fan. I mean, y'all made it. Y'all made it.
Man.
Yeah.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you, man. Also
you.
Tonight we have in the building another young man I met. We had a difference of opinion on the Democratic plantation. And so that's a conversation for another day. But however, I invited him over to have a conversation tonight about this subject. He agreed, and I'm glad he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and the only over on TikTok. John Lewis is in the building tonight. What's going on, John?
Hey, how you doing, my man? Pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. So you guys got to see the clip from last week about we were talking about a man who's going to sit at this table. John Lewis, you're the guest here tonight. What are your thoughts on who sits at the table? What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, it's so funny that you brought that video up of that gentleman or whatever, because I saw that video a few days ago and I was discussing that with my lady and stuff, and how he tried to say us straight black men are a danger to society. I thought was ridiculous and ludicrous of that. And I don't think that when you give up this your manhood, your what you call being a man, what we said it as a man, then you don't have no right to sit at this table because you don't have no insight of how to raise a man or how to raise our children. You can't tell me how to raise my son because you're not even living as a man. That's where I feel about it. So I don't think they have a right to sit at the table or even judge me or even put it that in that form.
Now, on the flip side of that, I think that Tyrese would disagree. Tyrese, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the video that you were a part of last week and defending that? What are your thoughts looking back on it now?
Yeah, looking back on it now, I definitely double down. I will state it again. I disagree with that. I believe his name is Funky Deneva.
Yeah,
that's how you say his name properly. I disagree with him trying to separate himself by calling out black men and then trying to backpedal and go to straight black men. No, if you're gonna call out black men, you're a black man yourself. Like I said, come on down. But I'm not gonna separate this idea that you get to somehow not be at the table based on your sexuality. Again, I'm doubling down on it. It's ridiculous.
So you believe that if a man is homosexual, he can sit at the table with me and John and yourself and our pain and have a conversation about leading the black community?
Yes.
And how do you figure that? How do you see that? Because how could he even get in depth about being a man and things that we go through when he don't want to experience the same thing that we want? Because he want to experience what a female or what the opposite sex want to experience. He want to be like the opposite sex.
Respectfully, John, is our experience as black men strictly relationships with black women, or is it relationships with everyone else, including law enforcement, the justice system, how we interact with our infrastructure, how we interact with people abroad? Like the last time I checked, he's talking about this stuff at a macro level. You guys are hyper fixated on something he's not even mentioning like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but he said, hold on now. He said that we are a cancer. Right, and we're gonna watch a video. Comedian Man really tore I ain't gonna say tore his ass up because that's a pause, but Comedian Man cooked him real good today. R Payne sent it to me, and I told R Payne because R Payne, I know he had already watched it, but R Payne, I saw this earlier. He was cooking. He cooked him because he's gonna break down what cancer is. What is a cancer to the community? And so my thing is, I believe if a man takes on another role, if a man says, you know what, like JT said, shout out to JT. If a man drops out of his masculinity and said, I want to be in femininity, I want to carry purses, paint my nails, I want to talk like a woman, I want to switch my hips around like a woman, you have no business sitting at the table with heterosexual men when you want the spirit of a woman.
Well,
that's such a illogical leap.
Well, hold on. Let me chime in because you guys are talking a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, Arvin.
You know, at one point I agree with that. You know, he can't be at the table. He must be at the table so we could kick his fucking ass with logic. He's got to be at the table. He's got to be. He has, this is not a micro level, a macro level.
on.
This motherfucker made a statement with nothing to back it up, and he needs to be stripped bare. And so he's got to be at the table. This kind of sacrilege has to be met with head on, and you can't really get to a conclusion if that guy's not at the table being stripped bare.
And see, also,
so I know a lot of people
masculine man wanting to strip bare a gay man, bro. Yeah, we're off to a great start.
But the point really is, the question was, should he be at the table? At first, I said, nah, he can't be there. But it's too narrow, it's too shallow to say he can't be there because he's a butt muncher. Okay. The fact is, he's got to be at the table so his sacrilege can be confronted directly. And he has to be able to answer to what he said, because any black man, like the panda bear that came on and said front and center, that guy is even worse than the gay dude. All right. There's no way, with all the sacrifices that black men have made for the ones who take care of their families, for the ones who've done. I mean, we got a lot of black men who've done some great things throughout our existence. I know I have. We could just kind of roll them off. For him to say that we're cancer, I mean a cancer that needs to be destroyed and eliminated, is an affront. It's a real affront, and every black man who could identify with what he said, because a few black men do some crimes. First of all, I think those kind of men are idiots, right? Because you can say that about every community, right? So you can't, we ain't responsible for guys who are fucked up. That's what I'm saying. We don't internalize, and I'm going to end it here. Every black man who does something bad, I'm not internalizing what the fuck they did. I know I don't do that. I mean, why are we internalizing every black man who does some stupid shit? What we don't do enough is call it out. And that's because we follow the wrong kind of people. If we were more conservative, we'd be calling that shit out from the rooftops every time we see it. So that's my...
Well, just to remind the audience and everything, just remember, guys, you're going to go panel to panel, stream to stream, channel to channel, and you're going to see black men being like, hey, we focused on the black women. Hey, we're focused on white supremacy. Hey, we're focused on this specific thing. Let's focus on this. And then now all of a sudden, a fellow black man calls out one of his own, and we're now like, well, what about everybody else? Like,
who said that?
Well, I don't look at him as a fellow black man.
You just did it.
No, Come on, John. I'm gonna get you here, John.
That was the overall message I gave to Bruce. Come on. The question was, should he be at the table? And I said, yes, he needs to be confronted. But because what he said, you can't really. This doesn't alleviate the fact that we got bad black men. I mean,
it is problematic.
Listen, it's not problematic for the rest of us.
Yes, it is.
No, hold on. It's problematic for the people who do bad things. And the fact that the rest of us don't call it out. Therese, how are you going to fix a guy who's going to beat on his wife? How the fuck are you going to stop him from doing that? How are you going to do that?
You're trying to talk to the next. I'm answering. You talk to the next. You talk to the next generation, because that guy, unfortunately, is probably unredeemable. Would you agree?
Yes. And how are you going to make him redeemable?
But you can try to lower. You could try to do preventive measures to lower the decline of shitty dudes, right? So your assertion, like this idea that you shouldn't try anything. Like,
no. I didn't say that. So your assertion is that black men who are upstanding aren't doing anything. Is that what you're saying?
He's not even addressing good black men. He's addressing the problematic ones. We're addressing the problematic ones that we can redeem, and you got to go, what about the good black men? We're not talking about the good black men right now, bro. We don't have to.
Hold on, hard pain. Guess what, though? Guess what, though? When you see what Medium Man does, I can't wait to see your face, Tyrus. Because when he went and got this, he'll argue with it. Yeah, he got the statistics, brother. And when we do the good man and the bad man, he's going to debunk that immediately. about this good man, bad man thing, and how men are looked at and perceived. All men, black men straight.
Bro,
So my
why
thing
are
is
y'all
this.
so hyper focused on him himself
He
being
said it
gay?
because he
Hold
is
on,
gay.
what I'm saying is this, and I'm finna get John in here. What I'm saying is this: if you are sitting at a table and you're telling people in a camera that black men are a cancer, which is a serious word to use describing black men, black straight men. He was very specific, very intentional. He said black straight men
all of us
are cancerous. So he's saying it in a whole that we all are cancerous. And if you don't, and let me say this, and I'm gonna say it because this is unfiltered. We black men unfiltered over here.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me the only man who has value is the man who suck another man's dick?
Who said that?
He did.
He said,
He literally did it.
He said
Never implied that.
black, okay, let me get to it. I'm gonna play the video. He said straight black men are the cancer. Straight black men. That means he got a whole group of gay men. He said the gay men are not the problem.
And I disagree with that. The last panel, right, BMU? I said he needs to bring himself in with us because he called out black men. Right? I had already addressed that.
So that means if you don't suck dick, that means if you got to be sucking dick to be a good man.
No, you don't. By the way, hey guys, gay people cause crime too, right?
According to him, though.
And he's wrong. But he's still not wrong with calling out and saying that black men overall are problematic.
You're so
hyper-focused. This is the problem. You're so hyper-focused on one half of what he's doing.
But he said all black men. He didn't say
right. Exactly, John.
He blanketed it.
John, first off, John, you was literally up here when I said I doubled down and I told him since he's a black man too, he needs to bring himself forward. So I already addressed that.
But he's not conducting himself as a black man.
He does not.
So
whoa. How does a black man conduct himself?
Not like that.
Not like that.
Okay. Then how does one conduct himself?
Let me say something like this. Okay.
I just seen him at the gala with a dress on.
All right. I watched this man video, right? And first thing he did was he nuclearized the black family. He just took them straight out. He just said black straight men. That means men that are married to a female are a cancer. Then he turned around and also tries to tell black women that we're not a threat to you as the gay community or trans people, the same ones that's trying to replace them. Okay? Yes, because they were trying to replace them. Somehow we are women when they are not. So the same one that's trying to replace them, you're trying to tell us that we're the cancer when you truly are the one that are the cancer. Then you want to invite them into the tent. That's what the Trojan did with the Greeks, and you see what the Greeks did to the Trojans.
Shout out to the few black men out there, and unfortunately, the few black men out there, other than Chaotic Truth, have been members of the LBGT. Because with LBGT up here on YouTube, I can have a conversation about space. I can have a conversation about infrastructure. I can have a conversation about healthcare. I can have a conversation about geopolitics. But somehow when I join my fellow straight black men on these panels, all they fucking talk about all goddamn day is what about the women's? It's like you guys can't talk about shit else. You guys literally, you guys are doctors. No, we got experts in relationships. I want to repeat that. We got men who call themselves experts in relationships who are failures in fucking relationships. All you guys do is talk about fucking women and the LBGT all day and all the critical things, the things that real leaders talk about. That shit fly right over y'all fucking heads. Man, goddamn, but guess what? We're gonna be talking about the gay people all night.
Who's he talking about?
Arpain. You know what's funny to me, Arpain? Hold on, Tyrus. I'll let you get it out. You know what's funny to me? That Tyrus didn't do the research before he said that. Because this gay man that we're talking about right now that call us a cancer, he's been on this for years. He was the man that was on Fox Soul that saying he was happy that Kevin Samuels died. He was the man that said he's been saying black men ain't shit for years. He's been telling black women He's
I
been
don't
no,
think
hold on.
that-
He been
Kevin
telling black
Samuels is
women.
not a good person, by the way.
He been
He
telling
died,
black.
and by the way, he died alone, right? He died a failure.
No. Hold on.
He
But are
died
you
of
going? No.
failure.
You said all we talking about. What about the women's? Okay, what about the gay men who are saying? What about the men's? All they
Yeah.
doing is what about the men's?
Yeah,
What
but
about the
that's
men?
what
The
we're
gay
doing
niggas are
tonight,
always
though,
saying, what
BMU.
about the men? Black women, don't date these niggas.
Hey guys,
These
y'all
niggas
can
are
sit.
cancers.
Hey,
These
y'all
niggas
can
are this.
sit
What
at
are we
my.
talking
Y'all
about?
can sit at my
Tonight,
table
though.
if you. Hey, guys,
But we're
y'all
not
can sit
talking
at my
something else
table if you
besides
don't
this guy.
need women for
We're
all your
not talking
problems.
about
Like,
women
you can sit at
tonight.
my table.
Well,
We ain't
I'm
talking
number
about
one.
women
I
tonight.
don't blame women for all my problems, so I know that for sure. And me and this host will tell you, we have
Yeah.
went debated
I
on TikTok
We're 25
multiple
minutes in.
times.
Sean, respectfully, we're 25 minutes in, and I haven't been able to tell. So it
What?
would be nice for me. It would be nice to not hear you
So
name
you're
women. And
25 minutes of me talking about a gay man that attacked black men, and you say that I don't have
But,
love for
John,
black
what was
females.
this? John,
And then I'm on here bashing. Hold on, that you can't clarify me just like he did. You blinking me same way he did, as I'm bashing the LGBT community, which I don't. I'm bashing this guy because he attacked me as a black man. And hold on, and two, you will never ever heard me diss a black woman's. I'm with one of the biggest supporters of black women because me and this host have got into it about that multiple times. So
Yes,
before
sir.
you speak about me, you should check my
I'm-
research of me and
So,
get me straight.
By the way, I'm going to check you right now, respectfully, John, because we could run this tape right now, and we can already hear you say because he's gay men shouldn't sit at our table. So you've already not just attacked him, but everyone overall. You just contradicted yourself.
No, I did not contradict myself.
And so I'm simply saying, John, it would be nice. Because it seems like you're so hyper focused on who he is. I'm just asking you, John, does the statistics of our fellow men say we are not, we're problematic?
No, it doesn't. It's
No,
not the majority of men. It's not the majority of men. It's not the majority of men. And I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you.
I don't believe him or any gay man should be at our table because what they going to speak to us about? What can they tell me about being a man?
John, I said we're not a cancer, but our community, our specific demographic has been problematic.
But not majority.
Wait a second.
I'm about to play it right now. It's not the majority. It's not.
He came after black men.
It's a minority
We
that is
gotta go with
causing
what the guy said. We gotta go with what the guy said.
What?
The guy, wait, Tarus, let somebody else say some fucking shit for a second, right?
Why? If I'm the one,
the guy said out of his mouth that straight black men are a cancer. He didn't put no caveats in it. He didn't say. He said straight black men are a cancer, and he's talking about all of us.
Yes,
and all of us have a right to refute that bullshit. And we're not talking about women. We're not talking about anything. And I said he could be at the table, so he could be stripped bare of that bullshit that he's doing. I don't know if that's lost or not.
Hold on.
You know, so we can't start making these distinctions that you're making. He said straight black men. If you count yourself as a straight black man, if you count yourself as a straight black man, he's talking about you. And he didn't.
And you know what? And you know what?
That's not the same as saying that we don't have.
I agree with them. You know what?
That's not the same as saying that we don't have a problem.
Black male, I agree with them, Kane. I agree with them. We're cancers, Kane.
You can't
Kane, we're cancers, and you're proving them right. Hey, Kane, we're cancers, and you're proving him right.
Men are the cancer. Black men are the cancer of the black community. Argue with your man. Ladies and gentlemen, it has now come to the time that we have a conversation. I have been saying for years on this show that black men need to have a conversation, black men alone. We have got to figure out what is going on with us. This is not something that black women can help us with. This conversation does not include black women. Black women stand down and stand to the side. Black men need to have a kumbaya amongst themselves, and I'm gonna niche this out a little more. And it's heterosexual black men. I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm gonna say it out loud with my whole chest. Straight black men are the cancer of the black community. That's where it starts and that's where it stops. Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all something. All this shit that y'all got going on, some of y'all, not all of y'all, with the gays and with the trans, let it go. Your issue is not a trans woman. Your issue is not a punk or not a sissy. Your issue is all of our our issue. Straight black men. Straight black men are the enemy to the gays. Straight black men are the enemy to the trans. Straight black men are who are causing harm to the girls and the women. That's where it's at. Now, y'all can shoot the messenger. Y'all can call me all type of faggots on the Shade Room and all the other blog sites that's going to pick this up, and I'll eat it. But you'll never see a situation where girls and women walking around saying they scared of the gay boys. They scared of their life for the gay boys. They don't want to be around the gay boys. It ain't us going around with these fragile ass egos, can't take rejection. We've got to ask ourselves, and I don't even know if the black straight male collective can even answer this question because their egos tend to be so fragile. How is it we are raising boys with these fragile ass egos that feel it is okay to slam girls on their head for saying no? Why is it that we have to make the females of the community make all the adjustments? It's not fair. Straight black men are the cancer of the black community.
Agreed. You know what? I agree with everything you
had to say. And listen,
agree with everything you
the
said.
truth of the matter is, he was very specific.
Mhm.
And listen, he made a point in there. We let it go a little bit longer than I would have liked.
I wanted everybody to hear that shit.
We do talk about those things, right? The point is, they ain't listening. And for the few men who violate women, listen, the biggest enemy to a black woman is a black man on the down low. He's the one giving them AIDS. Those guys are gay. Those guys are gay.
What about?
You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Don't what about?
No, it's not what about. Tyrone, hold on. I mean, it's facts. It's statistically facts.
Let's just stay
the
right
majority
there.
of them hood niggas who got HIV are giving them to the women.
Let's just stay right there. Those guys are gay.
And then you look at the fact that you know how many videos and things I have seen where gay, trans men's, whatever you want to call them, have attacked biological females and whooped on them.
Beat the shit out of them.
Beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And this man to sit there and say black men are the cancers, when you look at the statistics, the white society are the ones that's trying to eliminate their rights. We have an office, you want to look at it because most of the white people are running the offices in Congress. So when you look at on the scale, they're the cancers. They try to eliminate their rights. You got the trans trying to eliminate black women to tell them about they women, they insist they deserve the same rights as black women do, and put themselves in the same and to get the same rights as black women. But to say that, come there and try to say that, we're the cancers and we're the nucleus of the family and separate us, then try to turn our black females against us, that just show you how the gin and the ludicrous and the cancer that he is, that he even trying to separate our black females from us and turn up against us when they're the ones that's trying to eliminate the nucleus of the black woman.
Now, John, I have a question for everybody on the panel. Y'all ready? I have a question. If we all went out collectively, me, John, Tyrus, Arpain, we out at the mall, right? This sissy at the mall. A man pulls out a weapon and starts firing off the weapon, and they got to go be safe with some man. Are they going to go be safe and run to him for protection, or are they going to run to me?
Most likely,
have you ever been actually shot at in real life? People just scatter. Like, what is up with this fantasy y'all be fucking coming up with?
Hold on, Tyrus, let me give you an example. Hold on, Tyrus, let me give you an example. I was on the train one day, going downtown Dallas. I was on the train. And I was on the train, and there was an officer, a security guard with a gun on his hip. A homeless man grabbed the gun off the hip. He wrestled the man with the gun doing this. Guess who the old ladies and the women was behind? Big dog right here. Right here. They came to me. I feel safe. Thank you so much for standing there and protecting us. They're not running to no sissy to do that. They're not. Ain't no sissy. The sissy gonna be crying with them. Oh my God. Oh my God. The sister gonna be crying with them.
Yeah, they ran to guys like us to serve as human meat shields. Because they can hide behind us.
But ain't no man's supposed to protect
you was in the military. You was in the military.
Yes, and see that's the thing. I was in the military. I actually got a combat action badge. I actually know what it's like to experience that shit. And what you just described is completely unrealistic because in most scenarios, you know what happens in a gunfight when bullets start flying BMU?
Okay,
people just scatter. Sometimes dads and moms lose their kids because people don't know how to react in a situation and they just scatter, bro. So this idea that there's some big, strong most shootings end in tragedy because nobody stops them. You know what happens when you actually look at the evidence and the investigations? A lot of the times they're able to stop BMU. A lot of the times they're able to stop the shooter because the weapon jammed. Ain't that right, Payne? I know you done seen that shit. Sometimes the only reason they stop the shooter is because their weapon jammed. And somebody was finally able to run up on them and stop them. So stop this fantasy crap, bro. Y'all be telling yourself this fantasy entertainment crap, and it's affecting us in real life. Yeah, we starting to be a cancer, dog.
Bro, that's fine. Hold on. Listen.
Ridiculous, dog.
Hold on. And it goes back to my original saying, and we're going to clip this one real good. This man just sat here, and you said, and I got you on tape saying that you agree with everything he said. So listen. So basically what this man is saying, we're going to break it down parenthetically here. Basically what this man said is, if you don't suck dick, you are a cancer. If you don't give your booty hole to another man, you are a cancer to the community.
I got a question real quick.
Hold on, let me say this real quick, now that you cook. I look at it like this. If a cancer is something that takes away from you, it drains you, it kills your red blood cells, your white blood cells, it weevils you down, you weight loss, appetite loss, you just die. You can't recreate, you can't nothing. So my thing is this, shouldn't he be the cancer? Because of the lifestyle he chose, you can't repopulate, you can't give us black boys, you can't go get a woman pregnant, you're not adding to the community. So we should consider your ass as a cancer. I wish I could get this bitch nigga on this show because we'll cook his ass up pretty good. Because how you going to call us a cancer when nothing you do in life is helping the community? Nothing he does in life. I can pull up 10 videos of him right now, and Tyrese, you'd be like, damn, I can't believe I defended this son of a bitch.
This is not my first time seeing this dude.
This dude is garbage.
Bro, I'm sorry. On YouTube streets, that's a low bar. You got to do better than that, dog.
So we defending this motherfucker.
I'm absolutely defending him tonight. Since we're gonna go there, yeah, I'm defending him tonight. Yep, let's go. Let's go. Hey, Payne, you know what time it is, dog. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, y'all, I got a real therapist in the building tonight who is licensed to talk and to be in the minds of people. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother from another mother, I ain't seen him in so long, man.
What's going on, man?
What's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Man,
hey, man,
I'm so good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah. So pick it up here, man. I'm just leaving my daughter's college, man, trying to move out, man. She's about to move in, go back home for the summer. And I actually covered this, man. Yes, sir. What you're seeing now is something that's highly pernicious. It's tied to what I call it's an ego defense mechanism called introjection. Introjection is a phenomenon that happens, an ego defense mechanism where boys are not raised under the tutelage of masculine men. They tend to over-identify with women, and so they internalize and over-identify with women talking points. Because I did a show about this guy Monday, and then they project against anything that's synonymous to heteronormative masculinity. And so I promise you, if you did a genogram of this man, there was some kind of trauma in his background where either his father left him, his father abandoned him. Because see, heteronormative men are the reflection of the father to either abandon him or his mom, then allow him to have a choice with. And in his mind, anything that's synonymous to masculinity related to black men is toxic. And so it's nothing but propaganda politics. That's what it is in a nutshell. And I would take it even higher, Black Man Unfiltered, and say that it's spiritual and demonic. As a therapist, we look at what's called the biopsychosocial spiritual model. That means we look at all core dimensions as it relates to to the human existence. You know, there's a concept called a dichotomy, but human beings are trichotomous. That means we're soul, body, and spirit. And so there's a terminology used in the clinical called weathering. And so what's been happening over a span of time, Black men have been psychologically weathered. Either we're not good, we don't take care of our kids, and they'll take a random small sample size and falsely over-equivocate all Black men based on that random small sample size, which in essence is an ego defense mechanism called overgeneralization. And it happens all the time. You've seen it, I've seen it, we all see it, because it's a Luciferian agenda. They don't want masculine Black men in the home because, consistent with John Milton's Paradise Lost, Lucifer was the bad guy, and the patriarch, God the Father, Lucifer was the good guy, and the patriarch called God was the bad guy. They don't want no structure and order, but when you're trying to set structure and order, then they'll come back and become the victim and say you're the bad guy. And so I've seen it all the time, and I'm not shocked by it. You know, how can look, y'all gonna laugh at this, but I said, how can a fruit tell a vegetable how to be a vegetable, man? That don't really make no sense. How can a fruit tell a vegetable how to be a vegetable? This dude is a whole fruit. He got a strawberry daiquiri. He's an orange, but he's trying to tell a zucchini and an eggplant and a rutabaga how to be a vegetable. It makes no sense, and people love it because when you're being basically told you're the victim all your life, that's why a lot of women don't grow until they're around about 50, when their looks are faded, because a lot of women in their earlier stages are still suffering from arrested development. They don't have to grow. They don't have to grow up because so many people tell them what they want to hear. But see, something happens once a woman gets in her 40s and her 50s, she becomes invisible. Once she hits the wall, she becomes invisible. And I had a woman that got upset with me. I said, man, listen, you can talk trash all you want to. I'm 54. I'm 6'6", 6'5", 54, make good money. If I was a single man, I still get a young, hot, pretty woman. But what they don't understand is as they get older, they can get plenty of penis, but they cannot get the kind of men that they want. And they struggle with that. And so once they get around their 40s and their 50s and their attention start going down and they're getting attention from the men that they don't want, that's when they start growing up again. And that's when they come into their reality.
Anybody want to respond to that? I thank you, Coach and Clinician, for coming up too.
Yes, sir.
I agree with that.
Any questions for Coach?
Well, yeah, that was a good one. One of the things I just like to get to the point. This guy's gay, right? But let's put that to the side. He's a bottom, isn't it? A man that he's fucking around with.
Yep, exactly.
A black man.
That's that jig.
That's what I'm saying. So he's just wrong everywhere. And the one statistic, if I would like to get the statistic on this, what's the statistic of gay down low men who infect black women with HIV, cross-checked against violent men who do domestic violence? I wonder which one is higher.
You know what? You know it's true though, that the divorce rate and the domestic violence rate in the gay community is higher than in the black community. So he wants to speak on about being a cancer. Mm-hmm. They can't even get their own stuff together with their own. So how are you going to talk about us being a cancer when you are perpetuating what you're talking about? You have a high divorce rate, you have a high domestic violence rate, and you have a high suicide rate. So right there, everything you talk about the black man is you are living that.
And one more last thing: the vast majority of black men, straight or otherwise, are law-abiding citizens.
Yes, sir. You're right.
Now,
You're right.
Tyrus got a question for you, Coach. Tyrus,
yes, sir.
So,
go ahead.
Coach, use the bathroom real quick.
Coach, is that fine? Coach?
Yes, sir. That's fine, brother. Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. Yes, sir.
Coach, I am not even going to pretend like I have studied this and got the credentials you do.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple of things though I felt like I needed to push back on. One of them was the comment about women and arrested development. Now, it was my understanding that a lot of times arrested development comes from some past inflicted trauma, whether that's, earlier stages of life, like emotional, social addiction. Sometimes it's, sexual trauma. So arrested development isn't just, daddy's princess. I think you should be fair with that, right?
But so listen, two things can be true. There is arrested development that's predicated in pathology, but there's arrested development that's also predicated in privilege. I'll give you an example. Let's say if your parents are rich. What's your name, sir?
Tyrus.
Tyrese, let's say your parents are rich and your parents are giving you everything that you want. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can you
hear me?
We got you.
Right. And let's say your parents gave you everything that you want as a man. And so
hey, Kosher, because I really want to hear you. Somebody's got some.
My man, John, you got to go on mute because you're talking. We hear you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Kosher. You got it.
Yes, sir. So as I said, two things can be true. You're correct. Arrested development can be a byproduct of pathology based on psychosocial development. That's true. But arrested development from a more urban perspective, which parallels with that, can also be tied into what's called when your parents give you things outside of making you earn it, that can also give you arrested development. And that arrested development leads to a condition called entitlement. And not only entitlement, it makes you think you're better. Therefore, it does not push you to greatness. Think about it from this perspective.
It's called affluenza, Kosher. Remember, that's the term they use. It's called affluenza when sometimes the kids, because of the parenting, don't know the difference between right or wrong. Just to give you a quick example, that kid in Texas that drove drunk underage, and then he only got like 10 years probation because they said he was too rich. Yeah.
Right. And I'll take it to another level, brother. Think about the man that played in Archie Bunker. I can't think of his name. The drug addict. His dad was a star. He was Meathead on Archie Bunker. I can't think of the actor's name. And the son turned around and killed the mother and the father. But that's a form of arrested development because he was never given consequences. And so when you got women that are never given consequences, it can become arrested development. Not only, and see, think about it. You can traumatize your kids also by not holding them accountable. It's not always something pathological. A child has always been told they're special, they deserve the best, they've never worked hard for anything, and when they finally face reality, it's trauma on the back end instead of trauma on the front end. If that makes sense.
And the last pushback I got for you is your analogy with the fruit vegetable one. Now, respectfully, they have last time I checked, other than sexual orientation, they're the same human male as us. And science says, again, that at least gay people specifically are born that way. So when even in your analogy, wouldn't it be more apt to be like a mutated apple versus a normal apple, if you will?
Well, listen. There's a concept called junk science. But let me share something with you. I don't think they're mutated apples just because they're men. Are there some people that are born with proclivities towards homosexuality? Yes. Do I believe that basically what I've read said there is no science to say that human beings are born that way. There is science to say there is conditions that can make a person feel like they want to be with the opposite sex. But this is what I say. There are multiple things that can cause a person to have homosexual desires. Some people do have homosexual tendencies from birth. But having those tendencies does not justify the behavior. I'll give you an example. There are people that have tendencies. Who's saying they can't hear me? Somebody saying they can't hear me.
No,
can y'all hear me?
We got you.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, so okay, all right. So
you're having problems. We just put you on mute for a second, John. That's all.
So I've always said this. Just because a person is born with those feelings, it doesn't justify the behavior. I've seen clients in practice that were molested. There are some people that start off that way and they grow out of it. But I'm not going to say there's a science that unequivocally says that there's a gene disposition or a genetic predisposition for people to become homosexuals. Now, if you were looking at it from a theological lens, theology said that we're all born in sin. Some people have a predicament for murder, for violence, for adultery, for all kinds of bad behavior. But it does not justify the behavior. As I tell clients, you don't choose the feelings, but you do choose the behavior. And so just because they have the feelings, there are some people that have those feelings, but they just don't act on it. So when I take great umbrage when a man assails heterosexual black men, and I'm not only assail heterosexual black men, he'll assail heterosexual black men with a lot of disdain and disgust. Because watch this. I was looking at Media Man's clip, and what Media Man had was this. There are women that know that some of these men are homosexuals, and they still run for them. Some of them, they are good looking and pretty. Some of these women still will sleep with these homosexual men. There are women that would try to turn out a homosexual male, just like there are men that are trying to turn out a stud. But here's the problem. studs don't really carry disease, in my opinion, like a gay man can if he's sleep with men and then transmit it to women.
So, from your psychological perspective, and hopefully you can clarify something from me.
Yes, sir.
Regardless of if you think people are born that way or there's a trauma, right? A young gay boy, a hypothetical gay boy, right? Just we're going to create one.
Right.
Is it fair to say that from your perspective, he could still experience institutional racism, institutional classism due to racism, right? Unfair redlining laws due to most black men losing the birth lottery, basically wrong country, wrong time. You get what I mean?
Right.
Aren't these still experiences that we as black men all relate to, or mostly can relate to and talk about, regardless of sexual orientation?
That's an excellent question. So let me challenge you in a good way. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, sir.
So watch this. A heterosexual black man's pathology and burdens and troubles and trauma is totally different, in my opinion, respectfully, than a gay black man. And I'm going to tell you why. Gay black men, a lot of the time, are like bald eagles. They're protected. A heterosexual black man or white man is not as protected. They have more rights and more protections, in my strong opinion, from what I've seen, than a heterosexual man. If a heterosexual black man, look at all the black men that get false allegations, paternity fraud, discriminated against because of their height, looks, or whatever, discriminated by urban names. Now, I'm not saying that gay men can get discriminated, but I will argue that they've been given such a platform in modern society that many times the world does not see them as a threat as they maybe see me, you, and other men. I'm 6'5", 6'6". Black man unfiltered is probably about 6'1", 6'2", probably about 300 pounds. We're more of a threat.
Women are hiding the purses. Yeah.
We're more of a threat than a gay black man. I'm not saying he doesn't get discrimination, but I promise you he's given privileged status over heterosexual men because his struggles are not our struggles. They when they go into corporate America, a lot of times they get a pass. You and I being black men, we gotta dim ourselves to make other people feel comfortable. You know how many times I've been discriminated against and lost jobs, not because I did nothing wrong, because people told me I was articulate. They said that I spoke well. When I was at graduate school at UNC, I went through a lot of different stuff. I've lost jobs. I've been falsely accused. I've been lied on because people have told me that I'm intimidating. I've had white men tell me you're very eloquent in your speech. They say you're very erudite. And so, when I was in graduate school, somebody told me, they say you speak very well. Well, that's a microaggression in my opinion, because basically what you're assuming is that as a strong black heterosexual man, that I shouldn't be able to speak well. But as I said earlier, what you're seeing now is something spiritual. It's demonic. If I can destroy the patriarch, I can destroy the world. And what they're trying to do, all this stuff is pernicious, it's planned, and it's a concept called planned obsolescence. And it basically means that I want to make strong black men and the black family and the strong black man, the black family, or just families in general, obsolete. There's a concept in theology that says that when the men fail to lead, the children the children rebel and the women take over. And right now, America's under judgment because some masculine men won't speak out. Most people find it more expedient to be a simp than to be a masculine man. And so I take great risk when I go out and speak out against this because I am licensed. And what I'm saying is not necessarily PC, but I'm a man first. And that's what a lot of folks don't understand a lot of times when they see educated black men. They think you're an educated lame. Now I said, no, I'm a man first. And if you get in my face, you might get hit in your mouth because I worked in law enforcement before I became a therapist. I worked in law enforcement. I taught school. And then I got my master's years later. But they assume because, he's a therapist, he's a lame, and I'm a disrespect. No, you're not going to disrespect me. You ain't got to agree with me, but you ain't going to get in my face and disrespect me because you might get hit in your mouth.
So, Kosher,
that's where I stand on that. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Here's where I'm struggling with because it's, again, I'm actually kind of familiar. I know you're legit, right?
Yes, sir.
The same microaggressions you've experienced, I've experienced. Yep. I know you've heard the, oh man, Kosher, you're not like the others.
Yep.
What the hell you mean by that?
Yep.
Right? Isn't that a sign though that gay men can experience those same microaggressions simply for being gay? And then on top of that, they still got to deal with the microaggressions of being a black male on top of that. There's a duality there.
Yeah, so let me reiterate. I'm not saying that gay men don't go do some things. What I'm saying is that their plight is not as arduous as ours. I didn't say they didn't go do things, but I tell you what, watch this. Let's say you being a heterosexual, strong, masculine black man, go into corporate America or go into an environment that's mostly ran by women, and you're a masculine man, you're assertive, you speak truth to power, versus a gay black man of the same ilk. Who do you think they're going to get the job to? Who do you think they'll get the job to? I've seen that happen multiple times.
The straight black man.
They're going to get the job to the gay guy, and they're going to get the straight black man hell. Once again, there is a planned attack to destroy the image of men. You got men that haven't been born yet. Some of y'all got sons that 12, 13, 14, 18, 20 years old. They ain't bothered nobody. And they put those same children and those same young adults in the same cluster of the small percentage of black men that's causing chaos in the black community, man.
You know what, culture clinician, I have daughters, right? And the oldest daughter I talked to was talking about this trope about how men are real dangerous and black men are real dangerous.
Yes, sir. Right.
Well, it's true that there's black men out there that's dangerous. It's a dangerous world. You can't make it go to zero.
Yes, sir. Right.
I said, one of your best first examples is me.
Right. That's right. Yes, sir.
Your mother.
Yes, sir. Right. Right.
Do anything
that
will put her in danger other than take care of her for her whole life.
Yes, sir. Right.
So you have firsthand experience that whatever they say out there is just not true.
Yes, sir. You're 100% correct.
I'm not unique. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of
men. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Families. And so
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to get that out there.
Well, listen. Let me add to what you're saying, because what you're saying is very paramount. There's a concept that I created called schema afflictions. A schema is a byproduct of an intervention called cognitive behavioral therapy. So a schema is based on a core belief, and sometimes those schemas are not necessarily based in reality. But then there's another concept it's called schema affliction. And then there's another concept called paranoid persecution. For every black man that they think is dangerous and they'll trust a bear, there have been many times those same black men put their lives on the line. The man that ran into the house to protect his children when they were about to get born, when they were about to get burnt, black men that die in war. We've had scenarios over and over and over and over again where many men have always put their lives on the line to secure, protect, and sometimes even sacrifice their lives for children. The black man that got drowned in Houston, Texas, that man died for the sake of preserving women and children. During the Titanic, men historically have always protected women and children. Now watch this. Is there a small percentage of men that can be dangerous? Yes. But based on what they're trying to project and assume, as they were trying to associate black men with femicide, it's not based in data and statistics. Now watch this. It gets deeper. The greatest danger of a black baby is in the womb of a black woman. So you need to get scared of the women that's carrying children. Because I promise you, if you look at the numbers between a black man that's complicit in femicide versus a woman that's complicit in the fanticide, I promise you the numbers are nowhere near the same. No doubt. But what it is, women have a natural fear of men. It ain't no we can do. That's why they want softer men. That's why homosexual men tend to get into the enclave better, because they are less of a threat. But somebody like Black Man Unfiltered or myself, and we talk loud, they get scared and they get intimidated. I've had men tell me, they said, lower your voice, make your voice softer.
Yeah, me too.
Am I talking right? A Black Man Unfiltered?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna make my voice soft. I'm a man, and so that's why I say, young brother, that the gay black man has more opportunities than the heterosexual black man, because the gay black man is a protected entity. He's like a bald eagle. I jokingly said that the gay black man has more rights than the bald eagle, because at any time he could cancel you, but we can't cancel a gay black man. At any time a gay black man can cancel you. But how many times can you and I and the brothers on this panel cancel a gay man? Think about that.
The channel will get struck down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely.
My man,
Bandit Attorney in the building.
The attorney came up here. Bandit Attorney, he didn't get a chance to say anything.
What's going on, my brother?
Good evening, y'all. How's everybody doing? What's happening?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So you've seen the clip of the man saying that we're cancer, correct? It's been everywhere.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts?
I think it's mostly based in the black woman's, I guess, dissatisfaction in the product they're getting from the black men. And they are chalking up being dangerous. So they're saying, "Oh, they're dangerous. They're not doing what we want." So like it's extension of the Klay Thompson issue, where they're saying that, hey, this is what's going on, and these men are not acting right. So I've been asking, what is this thing that we're doing wrong to the women? If you want to say cheating, but they acting like that we just running around, running amok, and I don't think it's that.
What do you think it is, Kosher? You want to answer that?
Well, listen. As I said earlier, once again, I believe this thing is spiritual. I believe it's spiritual. I believe there's a demonic attack on masculinity and also a demonic attack on families. But what the gentleman was saying about these women, okay, let's say if what they're saying is true. Let me tell you what I see many times in my private practice talking to men. There are men right now, black men unfiltered, that can't see their kids. They can't see their kids because the government have given women power over men. There have been many men that have been complicit in false allegations. Those women are dangerous. There have been many men that have been complicit in paternity fraud, where they got to take care of somebody else's kid. And so this whole overarching nonsense, a lot of times it's a false projection of the men that they really want. I would argue that most men in modern time, because of a concept and a term I created called hoflation, most men are invisible. Most men are invisible to the average woman. There are men right now that I know right now that are plumbers and electricians, and they're good black men, but they are invisible to the average woman. I even sample women sometimes and say, you want to give a man a chance that he's a plumber or electrician? They won't give him a chance. They look down on those men. Those men are invisible until they get used up, ran through, and then they want to come back and charge you the whole tax. They want to charge a strong, solid brother the whole tax, but get mad at you when you charge them the lady tax. So once again, we live in a very gynocratic society, a very gynocratic culture, because in other patriarchal cultures where the men are men don't tolerate the stuff men in America tolerate. But because so many men have been raised by women, it's the ego defense mechanism I talked about a few minutes ago. It's called introjection. And that ego defense mechanism, what it does, anytime it see any vestige of heteronormative masculinity, it projects out of anger because it's not used to it. And any masculine man that stand on business is the man that left his mama. Therefore, he hates anything that's synonymous to traditional masculinity that stands on business, says what it means, and means what it say, and don't waver in their convictions.
I got a quick one really for this point. I'll be real quick.
Yes, sir.
I think most modern women, this goes with what you're saying, Coach, your clinician.
Right.
Most modern women are starting to realize that their box is not enough.
It's not enough. Yes, sir. It's not enough.
See that their
it's not enough. Yes, sir.
Right. Is loosening.
It's loosening. Yes, sir.
Regardless.
Yes, sir.
A young lady told me this before, and I was 20 years old. She said the woman's only power over you is her coochie.
Yes, sir.
Without that, if you give in to that, you've lost.
Yes, sir.
She could
You're 100% correct. You're exactly right. You're 100% correct.
That's slipping away.
It's slipping away.
All kinds of things now to try to keep power, and I think that's where we are.
Well, listen. They've been empowered to be depowered, and black men unfiltered understanding. I'm class of '90, Gen X. Yeah. You know, women had a stronger level, a greater level of decorum back in the past. But when you try to be like men. I always say that black women were the greatest women ever. There was no woman, in my opinion, that was better than the American black woman. But she has lost her throne. She's been dethroned, and she's lost her crown. And I jokingly said in one of the shows that I did, make sure y'all go check out that show about DEI. You know, the Statue of Liberty said, you know, bring me your tithe and your poor. And they ran to the Statue of Liberty, man. They ran to the Statue of Liberty. They got liberated. And then with the economy shutting down, AI taking over, you know, they tried to run back to the Statue of Liberty after their vaginas got tired and worn out, and the Statue of Liberty started crying and said, I ain't got no room for you. The Statue of Liberty told them to go ahead on and get, because the Statue of Liberty don't have no money. The Statue of Liberty is broke. And so they were compromised, they were co-opted, they were psy-opted, and now, like you were saying, black man unfiltered, the brother, I can't forget his name, the vagina don't have no power no more. Men will rather have their peace, their vagina. And then on top of that, so many have been with so many men. I'm not saying all the sisters, there's some good women that kept themselves straight, but you find more ran-through women than women that are not ran through. And even the women that were ran through back when we were in high school, it was shameful, and they kept it under wraps. There were women getting it in back in the 90s, but they weren't doing it like women. Now, not only are they getting it in, they don't have no shame about it. And when men see that, men are like, listen, man, I'm not going to invest in something that's ran through. You're not going to charge me the whole tax and expect me to treat you like you special. Because in my mind, you're not special. And then I came up with another concept called the Holy Jesus Pipeline. After they have all their fun, they use Jesus as a scapegoat to try to convince another man to come and take one for the team and marry them. And no masculine black man that got any sense want to deal with a woman when he go out and the boys look at him smirking, and he go to the campus and he goes to say, let's go back to North Carolina Central, Howard, or Hampton. And they say, yo, B, that's you. And you might say, what are you talking about, man? They laughing because she got ran through in college. And so masculine men don't want to deal with that for their wives. And the inverse of that is that most women can't have the thought of their man being with another man. You might say, well, that's two different things, but it's not. The gender dynamics are different, but the penetration principle remains the same. A woman can't have the thought of her man being penetrated, and most men cannot have the thought of their woman being penetrated by multiple men because it goes against their biology. It's called it's evolutionary psychology to some degree.
Oh, that's nature.
It's nature, right? Men are not wired for that, man.
Right. I want to greet Coco. Coco, what's going on, sweetheart? Welcome to the show tonight. I'm so glad that you're here. Coco, I know you've been listening because you've been in the chat. You hearing what the fellas are saying? So from a woman's perspective, I would definitely love to hear what your thoughts, especially when Kosher said that women used to have so much dignity and so much class, and now they've been dethroned, they've lost their crown. From a black woman yourself, who is married, who has gotten a family and a husband and done the right thing, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what he's saying? Do you agree or disagree, or what are your thoughts?
I think because I went to college in the early 2000s. I was a freshman in 01. And I can say definitively, or I believe, that social media has done mind games on women.
I totally agree.
Totally agree.
Even in the 2000s, 20 teens, there was a sense of, okay, I'm going to go through my harlot phase, but I don't want that many people to know. I want them to be limited to the schools or the college or universities within the area. I'm not trying to have it on display, because I eventually want to be in a relationship, or I want to be married, or what have you. And most women knew where their rank is. There was not an idea. Of course, there were some women who had their eyes on the basketball players, on the football players, but it wasn't where I believe I need to be with a high earner, unless I'm in that same field, unless I'm an engineer or a pharmacist or a med school track or whatever. I believe what has had women grossly delusional is now that you can see people online and form parasocial relationships. You think that's your reality or your fantasy.
Right.
And that's just clearly not the case. These same women who say, again, we see them a lot on Kendrick G. We see them a lot. Well, I would say the college educated Black woman, you're not going to see them as much. But even when they were talking to Kevin Samuels, there was just a delusion-esque mind to that is getting poisoned by social media to say, I deserve someone who makes six figures, who is this tall, who's in this profession. Because it's not even just about money, it's also about class, because there's a lot of contractors, plumbers, electricians, own their small business that are making good money, really making better money than some of the entertainers that you see that are just broke and fronting or scamming. But most women, again, because it doesn't fit the aesthetic that the dominant culture is portraying as something to aspire to, they're just going to ignore these men and not really have it hit them until, like the brother was saying, late 40s, early 50s, where they were a man. And because they were treated They have no choice but to share.
They have no choice. Yes, ma'am. Right. You're 100% correct. And some, Coco, that a lot of women don't understand as well. Listen, we understand that people have a past, but a masculine man that's about to put a ring on your finger. I was listening to the lady. I can't think her name. Name Fontaine, I believe. She's actually. I did a short Sarah, and that short is going viral, and I added some music to it. Most men by nature want to see their woman with as low as body count as possible, and all this BS about women talking about going through a whole phase. Like Sarah said, if you had a lot of fun, you might not lie, because a lot of men, if they're serious about making you their wife, some men will ask, but men have been conditioned not to ask. But my logic is this: it makes no sense. If you're going to be my woman, I'm going to ask, and I'm going to take it to another step higher. I'm going to make you get a lie detector test, because if I'm going to invest in you and make you my woman, you're going to have to get a lie detector test. And I'll pay for one of them, and you're going to pay for it. And that's going to let me know how serious you are about this marriage, because I got too much to lose. Y'all laughing, I'm dead serious, man. Because one of the greatest disrespects for a man is when he go back on campus, because I went to North Carolina Central undergrad, and I went to Carolina grad school, and I got my degree in law enforcement from community college at Pitt. I went to school to be a cop. I have 3 degrees. But ain't no masculine man want to go back on campus and the brothers laughing at him because they had their fun. And see, what sexual revolution did, the sexual revolution lied to women, and they never asked men what they wanted. The world always assumes what men want. But I was telling people, I'm thinking about writing a book called Black Love Without Consent. We never asked black men what they want. So guess what my dad got when my mom died last year. My dad is 82 years old, going on 83. Most men of that generation got a woman that was a virgin, wife ready, no kids. That man didn't mind paying the gentleman tax. But you got chicks now that got multiple kids by multiple men, and they want to charge a man a whole tax. But then when the man turned around and flipped and said, no, I'm gonna charge you the lady tax, they call it misogyny. But see, what's happening, like the brothers were saying earlier, men are becoming immune to that. Men are beginning to wake up because of social. Say it again.
Men are smart. You see those women a mile away. Women.
We begin to see. I gotta interject. I'm sorry. I gotta interject.
Right.
Once again, we have proven Funky Geneva correct. We can't stay on topic. And then now we're somehow, this topic has turned into women got to understand. Literally called it out the gate, man.
Well, we got a
like here we are talking about the issues that's specific about us. And we literally went to, well, the fucking women. Like this is insane, man. It's like, no, bro, because we always, as black men, want to talk specifically about issues when we're talking to another demographic. But when the moment the spotlight is on us and it's someone like us, another black man calling out is, well, what about this? What about that? What about that? Come on, man.
Okay, so Tyrus, let me ask you a question. Did you grow up with your grandparents?
Yes.
Okay, I grew up with my grandparents as well. I had a really, really dark-skinned grandfather. Probably was the same color as Kosher. My grandmother was a little brown skin, just like me. She's short. She's still alive. He passed away, right? I got an opportunity to have these conversations with them. And when I tell you, Tyrus, what you were saying earlier, the men then had so much authority that no woman or man would have the audacity to question that man on anything that he wanted to talk about.
Bro, they also had authority. No, because they also had authority of the women, because that was the only adults they could have authority. It was Jim fucking Crow. That's the only authority they had. Like, stop.
Sir, I wasn't in Jim Crow. I wasn't there. I saw
my parents were. My people raised up in Chicago. My people raised up in Chicago.
This is what I'm saying, Tyrus. This is what I'm saying. My grandfather had so much respect for him. My grandfather could say those things that Kosher was just saying. My grandfather could say to my sister, are you out fucking? And why are you, if you are fucking, why are you being unprotected? And why are you doing this? And why you, like, he would be direct and blunt. He would not hold back on my sisters and my brothers. He would not hold back on me. Whatever he said it. If my grandfather spoke a word in the house, it could be 20 people in there. When he spoke a word, the house was quiet. Everybody respected him. there was no disrespect. So it was never no, he could say, what about this? What about this? And people would have an answer. People would respect him enough to say, okay, well, we're like this.
He had the qualifications, BMU. I've heard your multiple stories about your grandparents. The difference between your grandparents and a lot of the men today is that your granddad had the resume to back it up. A lot of these dudes want all the accolades of a leader without putting in the fucking work, BMU. A lot of these dudes want all the fucking glitz and glamour and gold that comes with being a leader, but the moment it's time to actually have a resume and have the management necessary to be a leader, all of a sudden that's just too hard.
Now you getting off topic.
Like I'm sorry, bro. This shit is sad.
But now you getting off topic, Tarus.
You saying that, John? I'm talking about black men right now, bro. I'm on topic.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying, but that's not the topic. But that's
the topic is. But the topic is. The topic tonight is about black men.
Right. Is me not having a resume what making me dangerous to black women?
You not having a resume is what makes you hard to be considered a leader.
No.
Yes.
What is
Coco?
They said that we're dangerous, and you said, "Oh, we don't have the resume to be a leader." It has nothing to do with being dangerous.
Bro, you could be. By the way, the whole dangerous thing from that standpoint is irrelevant. You could have the resume or not and still be dangerous. Right. But at the end of the day, when you guys are mentioning when you're mentioning leadership, Bandit, when you guys are constantly talking about relationships, that's what I mentioned the leadership aspect. Because you guys always say you're the leaders of the household, or we want to be the leaders of the household, but then how are you leading the household? It's the same. Bandit, let's be clear, because I've seen multiple people on this panel talk about a program, and then when asked specifically what their program is,
so let's put a clock over Tarus's head to see how long he's gonna spend off topic.
Okay,
bro, you see how I'm able to talk about us as black men, and
I would love to talk about us as black men.
No, you're not, bro. Like this
you're talking about a program.
Bro. Man,
what is the resume? I'm
talking
confused.
about the women.
Hold on, Tarus. Hold on just a second.
I'm trying to talk about us and what makes us. Hold up. I'm talking about what the black woman is unsatisfied with about black men in relationships. What makes us dangerous? What makes us the cancer to the the black community? And you saying
could be the gang violence, could be the incarceration rates.
Then let's talk about that.
Okay, now hold on, Coco. What makes black men dangerous?
You spent your time talking about leadership.
Yeah, and you spent your time whining about the women's.
Hold on, Tyrus. Well, we got a woman on the piano.
You first started yapping.
Tyrus, we got a woman on the piano. Coco, what are your thoughts? What makes black men dangerous to black women, Coco? Can you? And then I know you shook your head a few minutes ago, so you can respond to that as well. Then John, you can go after her. Go ahead, Coco.
Well, I'm just confused. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's Tyrese. Tyrese, what is your point? I'm trying Tyrese, excuse me. Tyrese, what is your point? That's what I'm trying to understand. You're saying that the focus should be on black men. To talk about black men about
were you watching since the beginning?
Let him finish your question. Go ahead, Coco.
I wasn't watching from the beginning. No.
Okay. So at the beginning, this whole panel, by the way, is started by a panel we had last week talking about Funky Deneva and calling out the black community and the problem that people have, including now, about him, how he shouldn't have a seat at the table because he's a gay black man. Exactly. Despite the fact that this gay black man called out problematic behaviors amongst black men in the black community. And we're literally reacting to that, Coco. And so the point of the whole thing was, how are we not able to stay on topic about the issues that are affecting us? And instead, we keep on talking about gay people, and now we're talking about women. You see how we're talking about everything but black men specifically? That's the entire point.
Hold on. Hold on. What are the issues that are affecting us?
I literally just said we still got a problem with incarceration rates. We still got a problem with gang violence. As a matter of fact, we still, unfortunately, Coco, We had stores like, I think it was Target or CVS that had to close down, and it wasn't because of gay men, Coco. It was because of straight black men who can't act right. You see, unfortunately, Coco, I'm answering. No, Coco, I'm answering your question.
Remember,
we have a problem. We as the black men have a problem with contradictions, Coco, because a lot of us black men will have the cross tattooed on a part of our body and then go out and do a gang shooting. We'll have
what percentage of adult black men are incarcerated?
High enough that is the problem. High enough that is part of a single mother.
The percentage means a number. So what percentage of black men are no, I know the answer. That's why I asked the question. What percentage of black men are incarcerated?
You tell me. I don't have the book in front of me.
It's higher per capita than any other race.
No. That's not the. You're not. Hold on. Please. It's less than. Wait. It's less than 1% of black men that are incarcerated. I'm not talking about per capita. I'm talking about looking at black men in total. Right. So the ones who are incarcerated are not the problem. It's not the majority of black men who are incarcerated.
Coco, you see, no. You see, now I have to cut you off because you did it again. We're literally talking about multiple aspects, and you're so hyper focused on one. You tried to just act like I was like this was the only problem. I said there are multiple. Coco, respectfully, we could run you 30 seconds back.
You're wrong, no. You're absolutely wrong, man.
Because you keep on
the gay guy said that all straight black men. He said all straight black men are a cancer. He didn't say this portion, that portion. You're the one.
Yes, bro. Us straight black men are a problem. Are problematic. We are absolutely. Yeah, I told you, Payne. I already told you I agree with him. Payne, I already told you I'm agree with them.
And we don't live in a vacuum.
Yeah,
we don't live in the fact that man's experience is not an experience in a vacuum.
We don't live in a vacuum. Yeah, you guys are arguing with the only one trying to be nuanced up here. Okay, we don't live in a vacuum. Yet you guys are arguing with the only one trying to be nuanced up here. Make it make sense.
Respect and let me
make it make sense.
Say all the shit you want to say.
Crazy.
Listen, we can make up every affliction that black men have. And it's just a percentage on
every Deneva, whoever you are, whatever your resume is, bro. Unfortunately, you're right, dog. This is
control your emotions, so I can say what I'm saying. I don't go.
You're the one crashing out over a gay dude right now, bro. We saw how you act over a gay dude.
Hold on, real quick. Tyrus, let me ask you a question. Arpain, yeah, right. I got you, Arpain. Tyrus, let me ask you a question. You talked about my grandfather a few minutes ago, right? You talked about my grandmother and my grandfather, right? Yes. Do you think my grandfather and his 5 brothers, he has 5 brothers, they all passed away with him, they're all dead. Do you think they would sit at the table with a gay man and discuss the community?
I think that was ranked the lowest on the totem pole of shit they had to worry about.
I'm asking the question.
The question.
I don't know. Probably not, BMU. Probably
absolutely not.
Okay, great. But we're in 2026 now.
But
you and I are alive. You and I are alive.
They had the resume though.
Okay, well, guess what? In 2026, that's fine. In 2026, I'll deal with it. Okay, at my table, they're welcome.
Okay, yeah. And the country ran. You know what? Though? I would love to see a little.
At my table, they're welcomed.
Yeah,
at your table, at y'all table, you can welcome whoever you want based on whatever. At my table, bro, I don't care about your sexual orientation. I care about your productivity, bro.
But you let a gay man rattle you about what a real man is, because when we say that we want a woman with less body count, that's what a real man wants.
Is a deadbeat straight man a real man, John?
A straight man is a real man is not going to be a homosexual. So let's kill that.
Is a real man going to be a deadbeat?
A real man a real man ain't going to be a real man going to take care of his parents. A real man going to take care of his kids like I do.
Just for a little bit, right?
So that means the amount of real men we got, real straight men,
I know.
Is even lower than what we think.
Said black men are the ones to take care of.
Boy, we going down a real dangerous rabbit hole.
No, Tyrus, I'm gonna play this because I'm tired of hearing it. Listen to this. I'm gonna play this. I hope y'all in Coco enjoy this. Kosher, y'all listen to this because I love a person who comes up with the numbers, the statistics, and he don't just let people be talking out their ass.
Right.
I'm gonna let y'all hear this. Here we go.
Straight black men are a cancer to the black community.
Straight black men are the cancer of the black community.
Black men are the cancer of the black community. The comment that I dropped was that I agree and reporting for duty. Brought to my attention some dude obviously looking for attention, so I won't mention his name.
And honestly, I appreciate it, because what that tells me is this: there's an awareness that if Black people are directed to my platform, they're going to encounter something very different from the typical conversation. They're going to see a body of work that is rooted in data, context, and balance, a platform that holds everyone accountable while also ensuring that Black men are accurately represented, not broadly mischaracterized. So when my name isn't said, I don't take that as disrespect. I take it as validation. Validation that the work I'm doing over here matters. Validation that the message carries weight. And validation that when the full picture is presented, when the truth is laid out clearly, it challenges narratives that some people, some Black people, would rather leave unexamined. So for that, I'll say this directly. I appreciate you, Dondre Whitfield, because not only saying my name confirms something I've already come to understand. When the truth about Black men is presented in a complete and balanced way, it doesn't always get amplified. Sometimes it gets avoided. And you refusing to tag me or mention my platform is exactly why the Black community feels comfortable calling straight Black men cancerous. So now we're here.
So when I said I agree because I knew what he was talking about. He was talking about the Black males that look like the Black men.
Straight Black men are the cancer of the Black community.
And when I said reporting for duty, absolutely.
Let me be clear. This is not an attack on leadership or your leadership in general. This is not an attack on accountability. This is not an attack on doing the work in the community. This is about one thing. You cannot accept a false premise calling straight Black men cancers and then build a noble philosophy on top of it. Because when you say you agree with the statement like that,
straight Black men are the cancer of the Black community.
Even if you're trying to redefine it, you are still validating a group level accusation. And the problem is that accusation was never proven. And why would it be? And I also noticed something else in your recent response. No data, no proportions, no distinction between the majority and the minority, no acknowledgement of the millions of Black men who are working, providing, raising families, and staying out of trouble. Instead, the conversation immediately shifted to men take responsibility for things that they didn't break.
Because men show up to fix things that they haven't even broken.
And that sounds good. But let me ask you a real question. Responsibility for what exactly? Because if you don't define the problem accurately, then your responsibility becomes tied to a narrative, not reality. And this is where we separate. There are two conversations happening. My conversation is this: let's establish what's actually happening with Black men as a group. Let's talk about population level data, fatherhood, behavioral distribution. Let's separate the few from the many. Your conversation is this: Black men should step up. Black men should lead. Black men should fix the community, even if they didn't break it. And here's the issue. You skipped the facts and went straight to responsibility. I don't accept that. And nor do the Black men over here do. Because once you accept responsibility without accuracy, you lost control of the narrative. Now, anything that happens, no matter who did it, gets placed on the backs of all Black men. Not happening. Now, let's talk about something else I noticed. If you go under your recent video and you actually read the comments, you'll notice a pattern. The majority of the engagement is coming from who? Black women. Now, that's not an issue by itself, but it does raise a question. What kind of messaging is being reinforced? And who does it resonate with the most? So let me ask you a real question. What would happen if you presented the full picture? What would happen if you told your audience that approximately 69.3% of births in the Black community occur outside of the marriage? But then you clarified something very critical. That does not mean that 69.3% of Black men are fathering children. Because when you look at the data, only about 46% of Black men have ever fathered a child. Now, let's go further. About 61% of Black women have had at least one child. Compare that to the same 46% of Black men. That creates roughly a 15% gap. And that gap matters because it tells you that births are not evenly distributed across Black men. A smaller percentage of men in general, not just Black men, are responsible for a large share of Black women's births.
Yes,
so I'll ask again, what would happen if you put that information in your post? Do you think the reaction will be the same? If you're honest with yourself, the answer is no. And if the answer is no, then that tells you something very important. Your platform is not just about truth. It's about which truths are comfortable to present and which ones aren't. Let me give you another example. What if you challenge one of those long-standing narratives in our community? The idea that black men are overwhelmingly deadbeat fathers. Have you actually looked into that? Because when you go into the research, especially reports from Bowling Green State University, you will see something very different. The National Center for Family and Marriage Research at Bowling Green State University looked at fathers' residence patterns with their children. They found that 55% of black fathers live with their children, and another 18% have both resident and non-residential children, which means the majority of black fathers live with their children 100% of the time and are actively participating in raising them, whether they live with their children or not. Woo! Well, that's just fathers reporting on themselves. Okay, fair point. But here's the problem with that argument. Researchers anticipated that criticism. So another study looked at the mothers' reports instead. And what did the mothers say? Mothers, including black mothers, reported that black fathers shared responsibilities more frequently and demonstrated more effective co-parenting than both white and Hispanic fathers. Let me say that again. Even when mothers were the ones reporting, black fathers were still described as more involved in parenting and co-parenting responsibilities. So whether the fathers reported it or the mothers reported it, the result was the same. Black fathers were among the most involved fathers. That doesn't align with the narrative that has been repeated for decades, not even close. So I ask again, what would happen if you presented that to your audience? Do you think they would accept it? Or do you think they would push back? Not because it's wrong, but because it challenges what they've been taught to believe about black men. And if they push back, that tells you everything that you need to know. Because on my platform, we don't do selective truth. We don't hold on to narratives just because they're familiar or emotionally satisfying. We follow the data, even when it's uncomfortable. Because if you're serious about solutions, you cannot build them on top of misinformation.
Straight black men are the cancer of the black community.
I agree. And reporting for duty.
In what world would any group of people accept being labeled a cancer to their own community? Think about what I'm saying here. What rational person hears that and agrees with it? That doesn't make any sense at all. And it becomes even more concerning when that statement is not only accepted, but doubled down on.
I agree because I knew what he was talking about. He was talking about the black males that look like the black men.
Now you're not just allowing the label, you're reinforcing it. Then you look in the comments, you see your own people agreeing with it as if it's accurate. These are the same voices you expect black men over here to trust? These are the same perspectives you want black men to align themselves with? Let me be clear. The word cancer is not casual language. From a real world standpoint, especially from someone with the background in health and dealing with cancer within my own family, that is a very serious term. Cancer represents something destructive, something invasive, something that needs to be removed. So when you apply that label to a group of men, your own black men, you are not making a critique. You are making a dehumanizing statement, and I'm not here for that. Do the work in the community. Absolutely. Lead, mentor, build. We agree on that. I'm doing that as well. I've served 20 years in the world's greatest Air Force, and within those 20 years, I have never heard anything more egregious than someone saying that straight black men are a cancer to their own community. And I want to be clear here. This video is not to go back and forth trying to prove who's more qualified. That's not the conversation. The conversation is this. Where is it acceptable for a group of men to agree that they are a cancer to their own community? Because I'll tell you where it shouldn't be acceptable. Anywhere. And yet somehow it gets normalized in the black community. Go figure. That's not leadership. That's not accountability. That's a failure to challenge harmful narratives. And at some point, we as black men, as black leaders, we have to be honest about that. Why the hell you think black women got this outlook on black men right now? Because we accept harmful narratives about ourselves, such as
straight black men are the cancer of the black community.
Because accepting language like that and encouraging others to accept it, that's absolutely not progress. In fact, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to black men. It's embarrassing to black leaders, black fathers, black sons. And before I go, let me address this clearly. This video made its way to me because someone sent it to me. Both videos were sent to me. I wasn't following you. I wasn't looking for your content. So this is not clout chasing. I'm responding because the message reached me and it needed to be addressed. And I also understand something. The majority of the black community may not accept what I'm saying here. I'm fully aware of that, but that has never been my goal. I go by the rule of 10. 3 people for, 3 people against, 4 people undecided. The people who are for, I speak to directly every day. The people who are against, you. And the people who are undecided, you still have hope, and we'll determine where you stand after you understand the truth about black men in particular. So I want to say this very clearly to the black community and men who think like you.
Straight black men are the cancer of the black community.
So when I said I agree because I knew what he was talking about.
My goal is not popularity. My goal is accuracy. My platform would likely be well over 100,000 subscribers if I didn't block, ban, or filter negative commentary. But I do that intentionally because my platform is not built for chaos. It's built with purpose. My goal is to protect the mental space of black men. So yes, I moderate heavily because I want my platform to reflect discipline, clarity, and truth. So this isn't new for me. I've been doing this for 5 years. This isn't reactionary. This isn't temporary. And it's not for attention. My platform will grow, but it will grow the right way, rooted in truth, facts, and data. Anyone who positions themselves as a leader in the black community but does not understand black men as a group, I have to be honest. I don't trust most black leaders to speak on the behalf of black men because too many of you don't know black men. Too many of you are afraid to look at the facts and the statistics to see what your fellow black men are doing. That's why I don't trust you all, because too many of you are operated within a fixed narrative.
No one talks about the survival of the black race. In the 1990s, the black male is an endangered species. 1 out of every 3 black men are either in jail, on drugs, or gay.
And if telling the full truth risks offending your audience, then you're not leading. You're managing perception. Leadership requires truth, and the black community does not need another feel-good intervention. It does not need another blame-driven segment after a few viral incidents. What it needs is the truth, because taking a handful of incidents and applying them to the majority of black men, that's reckless. It feeds fear, it spreads misinformation, it reinforces harmful narratives. And when black men use those narratives against their own group, that stops here. I almost forgot something. This idea of separating black males from black men.
He was talking about the black males that look like the black men.
Let's be honest about what that often becomes. It becomes a way to label a group of black men you don't respect or you don't agree with. So instead of naming behavior, naming proportions, or naming people directly, you created a category and then you attach all the negative traits to that particular category. We're not going to do that here. I'm a black man. You're a black man, brother. So none of that divisive talk where we say black males and black men. That's just an easy way for people to pick it up and use it as a slur against black men. I've seen many of content creators do the same thing. We're not going to do that here. I'm speaking directly to you, black man. Okay? Shout out to you, black man. I love you. God bless you. Keep doing your thing and pay attention to my page if you want the truth, because I see what you guys are doing out here and I'm proud of you. If that message doesn't come from anywhere else in the black community, from any person that thinks that they are leaders of the black community, just know that you will get that message from me. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for supporting all of my platforms. And this will not be the last time that you will hear me address something as egregious as calling straight black men cancers to the black community. Absolutely not. So thank you again. God bless.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Black man, I gotta run, brother, because I'm about to leave. But listen, that brother, that's what I was saying earlier when I came on your show. It's a thinking era called magical thinking. And magical thinking is not predicated in reality. It's based in delusion. And so people that manifest magical thinking, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. They take a small sample size and broadly overgeneralize all black men to push a propaganda narrative. And to the people that say that black men got to have the resume, I know plenty of people, black men that have the resume, and they still don't get respect in their family. I got men right now that make good money. They're hardworking men. They're trying to lead their wives, and their wives still trying to usurp their authority, undermine their leadership, and do everything. And these are hardworking, blue collar, and also professional black men. I've seen white men too. I had a neurosurgeon one time made $900,000, and his wife still didn't respect him. He had the resume, full-time provider, good man, did everything right. But when you got a generation of women that can't be held accountable, and then they shame the black women that try to uplift black men in a spirit of righteousness, that's why we have the problems that we have now. And that's why I said a man like this Dusty Diva, whatever his name is, he don't speak for me. Because in my mind, he got issues. So how are you gonna tell heterosexual men how to be heterosexual where you're crazy and you got your own issues as well? You don't see heterosexual men go in the gay community and tell them how to be gay. We don't bother them, but somehow you can come and try to truncate heterosexual men and try to tell us how to be men when you are fruit and we're vegetables. So it doesn't make any sense to me, man. So I just want to add that little piece, brother.
I appreciate the culture. With like Tyrus, I mean, I know that you learned a lot. Listen to my boy, man, Medium Man. I wish he could. He said, he said, I can't be there tonight. I wish he was here. However, he's not. But man, what are your thoughts, Tyrus, about all this great information that you just received about all? And he debunked all the narratives.
He did not debunk the narratives. He did not.
He? That was a well put together video by Medium Man. And I respect him as a fellow vet. I respect him and everything, but I have to mostly disagree with him. And here's the first part why. Boy, here are we as he said he's like 20 years in the military. That's awesome. I'm 8 years active duty, 2 deployments. All the crap we said in the military, and cancer's the worst thing you've ever heard. Jesus. We got a whole bunch of straight black men acting like a bunch of pussies, bro, acting like a bunch of Karens, saying, by the way, BMU, hey, Black Bandit, I'm about to put you on game. You see, we got a guy named JT who referred to the LBGT as terrorist. We had another guest. Stop. We had another guest, BMU. I think you remember her. I asked her, I was like, hey, do you mean we should delete the LBGT? You remember that BMU? And she was like, yeah, we should. And so we got people saying the most disgusting crap about the LBGT. This dude's like, we're a cancer. And all you guys are clutching your pearls. That shit is soft. And then here's the other part I disagree with. And this is actually getting to the root of the problem, BNU. He's talking about, well, if you look at the statistics, it's actually a minority of black men getting these black women pregnant. That was not eye-opening because that's always been the case in any fucking society in human history. Most men don't get to procreate. So now I'm starting to wonder, am I just dealing with a bunch of dudes? So now I'm just wondering, am I really just dealing with a bunch of dudes who can't get fucking laid and they're just pissed off at the world? Like, because
is that what you got out of what he said? Is the bullshit that you said?
Like this is some bullshit, bro.
Tyrus?
No, let's go.
Statistically, historically,
put a well together video on. That's all you got.
Did I not say that? Did I not say that? Pain, I literally said that at the beginning. So now, Pain, if what I said was wrong, Pain, if what I said was
wrong, matter what he put together.
Pain, if what I said was wrong, Pain, if what I said was wrong, then yes or no, do the majority of men procreate in human history?
No,
yes, right now,
no, historically, yes, and what's crazy is it's actually we're talking about Bandit. It's actually the minority of men still procreate. It's going up. By the way, the number of men procreating has gone.
Has a connotation that a lot of black men are going out there the minority, and that's not true.
One at a time.
Yeah, and so again, we've always had, historically speaking, a minority of men getting women pregnant, and so it's really just like
is that there's a pervasive thought that a lot of black men are out there impregnating women willy-nilly, and that's not true. That's what on the social media
the stereotype of the baby mama in our community has been around for how many decades? How many decades has that stereotype? Are you serious?
Okay,
are we serious right now?
Hold on, Tyrus.
They got pregnant by somebody, right, Payne?
But it wasn't the large percentage.
White man, Hispanic man, Asian man.
This ain't gonna be picked, bro. I'm sorry y'all lost the first lottery.
No. All I want to do is get women involved, because I can call my sister-in-law right now. She works at one of the biggest hospitals in Houston, and she'll tell you that 17% of the men are fucking 49% of the women. Coco, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I know.
I don't know what is the argument about. Is the argument like Funky Dineva's comment? It is what it is. It's not the biggest issue that is affecting the Black community. The biggest issue is the lack of families that's affecting the Black community. It's not because men don't want to be husbands. It's because, unfortunately, the majority of women who, quote unquote, want to be wives to 10 to 20% of the men, which wasn't the case 20 years ago. And again, it goes back to what I said about social media and these unusual delusional standards that women have for themselves. And so when they get into their 50s and 60s, they're going to be sharing a man. Also, okay, granted, let's say Black men bad. Black men stop blaming everyone for their problems. So why is it then that Black women are married in the lowest rate? Black men are so wonderful.
Context. We're missing way too.
What context?
My bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the context of this conversation is that Black women believe these things, right, about us, right, and then the gay man, right, was piggybacking on the points that they have been making. So as far as what makes us a cancer is that we're not buying in, right, into the Rainbow Coalition. So during from the 2020s, right, during the pandemic through now with the BLM movement, Black women were adopted in to the LGBT community, right, where they are now protected, meaning you say something bad about a Black woman, right, your comment won't pop up on the screen because that's a word that's protected now. And right, and Black men are not buying in to that part of the protection. We're saying that, hey, no, we're not buying into that part of it. We don't want to buy into that. We're staying on our square over here, and since we're not buying into it, we're a detriment to the community because we're not signing up for that popular culture.
And I agree with you on that. Like, even with the doctor, somebody what the doctor was saying before he left, he was saying that Black women lost their crown. I don't believe Black women lost their crown. I just believe that it's just real dirty right now because a lot of narratives have been pushed around with social media, talking about like Housewife of Atlanta type stuff. But going on, but he's talking about, I believe that as a man, or we're gonna say straight man, and as a father, I lead by example. I got into this conversation about him shooting at talking about straight Black men because I want my daughters to know this is what a real man is. I go out every day. I work my 40 hours a week or more. I also run my own business. I respect my woman. I take care of my business as a man, my responsibility as a father, and I carry myself as a certain way. And I don't let nobody assassinate my character as a man, period, and as a Black man, and as a father to two daughters. And I want my daughters to understand this is the kind of man that you look for and not what that guy said that we are a cancer. And I could focus on multiple things at one time. Because as a Black man, I've been focusing on multiple things since we came here. I could focus on the fact that this man says we are cancer and show them we're not that cancer and what you say is wrong. And also focus on what kind of woman I want. That I don't want a woman with a high body count because that if I have a child by that woman, she's going to be the type of going to put the wrong seed in it because she couldn't even lead her own self right. So then I'm going to end up with a child like Funky. That's going to lead my child on the wrong path.
Yeah, and it's so it is our responsibility, right? As far as the structure of homes, right? The women who end up getting pregnant with a Black baby, most of them get pregnant by a Black man. So even if we're talking about the minority at a certain age are having children, by 45, most Black men have a child. right? So you sharing somebody's baby mama, but eventually you have your own child. That's how that number works. So we're saying that the reason that they're saying that we're the outside of the, I guess, the popular culture or the demographic that they want to be in is because we're saying, hey, this is wrong. We want you to be this way.
Right.
And
we're
that's
not accepting that. We're not accepting you assassinating our character as men and telling our women that you are the right way to do something, and got our kids growing up confused, dazed, and all uneducated.
Yeah, I do not think that most black men are thinking that deep about the structure of the households. What I actually see is that the black men have basically a concern or a complaint about what they're dealing with, and then the black women do not want to hear it. So in the comment section, it's the Coliseum. And then we're going back and forth about the experience, and it's the boogeyman, right? These uncooperative black women don't really exist.
But
right?
mostly the women that backed him up are mostly the ones that pushing that narrative to the front. Right. The ones that hurt, that's most right. So we could be honest. We could say most black women have been hurt by a black man before. But a lot of you, if you looked at a lot of videos, there's a lot of black sisters out there that's defending and saying that he's out of pocket, he's not right.
But I'm talking about the feminist culture in the black female community, right? Is at a high rate, right? Where they are empowered, they are looking at black men on an equal eye level, no matter what, right? That's how they feel. And then if the black man is not getting on their program, that's a problem. What I'm seeing is that, okay, there are things that we can't control about these household structures. And are we willing to basically lock down and control the controllables as black men?
Well, a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Coco. Go ahead, Coco.
Sorry. I didn't even see his clip. I just saw the tagline, the headline. What was his reason to say black men are the is it what you were saying, sir? What was his reason to say
that is the context, right? It's basically a continuation of the Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson conversation about how black men were responding to her being cheated on, and how black women had a visceral reaction to how we didn't care or how we were damn near overjoyed about the going on to their relationship.
Allegedly being
Wait, and that's the reason why he said black men are a cancer?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And it's allegedly being cheated on. That's
I'm saying that. No. Well, let's just open up the cinematic script and say he did. Okay, then if he did, then
I'm with you.
Back to the streets with you.
Bro, Coco.
Yeah, I'm with him. I understand where he's coming from.
I understand what he's saying too. I just think that when you because we say this, a lot of people say this. That's why I don't understand why we get a lot of pushback by disagreeing with this thing, right? Because if he says something, he's defended. He's being defended by everybody. Women, heterosexual men are defending him. The straight women are defending him, and they're just defending this man. And I think that it comes a time where black men need to stand 10 toes down. The one thing about me, and I know I joke a lot, but I'm not joking right now. One thing about me, I don't waver. If I believe something and I stand on it, that's what I stand on, and I'm gonna stand on it. And John Lewis knows this because me and him debate all the time. You can't waver me. If I know something, I have morals, I believe in my morals and my values, that's what I stand on, and you're not gonna budge me. And we always talk about the lineage and our grandfathers. My grandfather would be rolling over in his grave if I was sitting in a conference room with 5 men with dresses on, snapping their fingers, talking about clock it, trying to make a goddamn decision about what men's supposed to do.
My grandma would get on me.
My uncles, my grandfather, all the men before me would be rolling over in their fucking graves if they saw me at the table with a bunch of men with dresses on, lipstick, lip gloss, fingernails painted, snapping their fingers, talking about clock it. My grandfather would be, son, he would probably say, son, what the fuck is wrong with you?
My grandfather from the deep south of Corinth, Mississippi is the cause of broken homes because he had 12 kids by 5 different women.
That was a culture back then.
I think I do with my granddaddy.
I mean, you just share. You're like, for every one of your awesome granddaddies, there was a shit ton of my granddads.
Can I add
majority of
It was enough, Coco, to create enough broken homes. Too many. Wouldn't you say?
Let me say something on this, because my grandfather had 3 families.
I was about to say the same thing.
In wedlock or not, he when he passed away in Jersey City, he was debt free. And he gave all his grandchildren an inheritance from all of those families. So the point really is, I don't know what you're trying to make. See, I'm old enough to remember the grandfather back there because I was there. I was in the house. My grandfather that I lived with, my grandmother, she was loud, you know. But every time my grandfather, who didn't say much, said, hey, sit your ass down. That's exactly what she did. You know, and he got the big piece of chicken. And we got a family structure, you know, that lasted. When I moved in, it was 1965. When I moved in the house, my mother died. We just lost that house in 2013. We gave it away, sold it. And our family is still connected from that generation, from the greatest generation, solid generation, and the baby boomers that everybody hates. Our family is still connected. We got second cousins once removed that are as close as brother and sisters because of that. You know, and I'm just trying to say, when I listen to people talk about the old days where, you know, women had to do this, and they were all my aunts had pensions. They had jobs. They cried at their husband's funerals.
My grandmother too.
You know, and vice versa. So this whole narrative, this recency bias narrative that everybody in the Black community is fucked up because they had to be. Yeah, there was some narrative that we had to be together and made us stronger because it was us against the world. You know, and so I'm just saying, I sit back and listen to all this bullshit. Let me just bring it back to where we are now. I wouldn't be arguing this. That guy said that straight Black men are a cancer. I'm a straight Black man, and I take that personally. It doesn't matter whether we have bad actors in the Black community. We know that, but he didn't say that. He said that me and all the shit that I put in, you know, I do so much stuff for my family, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And my children, and everybody else who's around me. And for him to call me a cancer, I take that personally. I don't care what it is.
But why is it, I do have a question for the panel. Why is it for specific to Western Black Americans that this is an ethnic group that identifies, that says the worst of its own, identifies for the majority of its own? Like in each ethnic and racial group, they are degenerates. They are the ones who are the evil, the bad people of society. But and it happens for Japanese, Italians, Russians, Nigerians, Angolians. They're all those people in these different ethnic groups. But that doesn't identify the whole ethnic group within the group. Why is it for African Americans, because you disagree, you're saying that this is a cancer, so that negative connotation falls on everyone? Right. That's what I don't understand. There are people it's like that in the white community, in Germans, Italians, or whatever, but they'll never say, oh, this is a cancer of all our group.
Well, you know, Coco, I don't think people realize how unique Black Americans are in terms of a culture. You know, we're not Africans, right? We're Americans, right? Everybody else has historical things that they can directly tear back. The Italians can trace back to Italy and all that kind of stuff. As Americans, as Black American males, we don't have anywhere else to go. This is our home. And there's something about Black American men, because one, we're still standing. After all the shit that they've done, we're still standing. There's a certain power in being a Black African American, Black American, that I think people are intimidated about. Listen, all those South African blacks, the reason why they're free is because of Black Americans.
But I agree. But what I'm saying is,
so I'm just saying, but I think there's a natural inclination that, and especially with, and here's where the women come in, because Tarusi can go crazy. When we look at our power as Black men, as the so-called patriarchy, there's a natural order of things, and it intimidates the modern woman who wants to be free. They want traditional men, but they don't want to be held to traditional standards. So the way they can fix that is by breaking us down and making us acquiesce like the light-skinned dude on that thing says, I'm for it. You could call me a cancer and I'm on your side. I'm just saying, there's something about Black men. We have abdicated our power to the matriarch women. And I hate to say matriarch, to women. That's what we've done. Generationally, and I think it's part of the programming, and too many of us fell for it, and that shit's coming to an end, and it's making some people scared.
Yeah, the reason that this conversation is able to happen, the reason that Funky Godiva Deniva is at the table, because we don't have an inherent hierarchy in the Black community, right? And that's our fault as Black men. Yeah. The Black woman either looks us in the eye or thinks she's the one running the show. Mm-hmm. That is how it is in most situations.
Their heads.
And that is most of us, right? And then the gay Black man identifies with the Black woman.
After they call us sassy, but we stand up for what we believe in, and they turn around and call us sassy, and we turn around and put the gay person up there as a real.
I don't know if that answers Coco's question, but
and his plight of Funky Deniva's plight is the Black woman's plight. So the reason that they're at the table is because there is no hierarchy in our community.
So, Coco, in my opinion, our pain is probably most accurate so far, and here's why. Look at our history, Coco. Black men specifically have had a hard time holding on to some sort of foundational identity. We are all over the place. As we know, the idea of a community or a monolith, people will argue that's non-existent or it exists, but it's broken. Like, we have to understand that there are similar overlaps of the other demographics you was talking about. For example, Coco, you should hear how the British used to talk about the Irish. Oh boy. The Italians, Coco, they were the second most lynched demographic right behind us. You know what I mean? That was part of the reason, but unlike us, we're not chameleons, right? We can't change our skin tone like that. But Italians, Irish people, it was easy for them to be or to adopt what was considered white culture, right? Even though they dealt with that same thing. But unfortunately, with us, Coco, we just have the way we came here in this country was different. And so the way that we get treated and we're allowed to grow has been different. And so a lot of those demographics do have some sort of root, right? But Coco, guess what? When we do our genetic test, Coco, it's 4% Ghana. It's 12% Nigerian. It's, 15% Senegal. Right. And then, as you know, when it comes to that genetic, then it's not just the nation over there. It's more about what tribe you belong to within the nation. Right. And so we're so mixed up right now that a lot of times Black men, this is one of the direct criticisms we need to figure out, is we do have sort of an identity crisis that we haven't, that we just need a foundation, Coco, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like, to your point, but Italians won't say that the mob represents Italians.
Right.
Like, you're never going to hear in general society that they say, yeah, like, and that's and the mob is destroying they're not even going to address. They said, yes, there is that, but that's not us. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Coco, but respectfully, they do absolutely lean into that side of the culture. I mean, for God's sakes, respectfully, especially the East Coast Italians, just the one quarterback, when it was his time to get that starting job at the quarterback, they had the homeboy, his uncle leaned into that Italian stereotype. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's what is propagated in the general media, but not that's not what they want to be known for.
Right.
Generally speaking, Italian Americans.
And you don't see no Italian person on YouTube saying, hey, all you fucking Italians, all you fucking Italians are fucking cancerous. You fucking Italians, all you fuckers are fucking cancerous motherfuckers. They're not doing that.
They're not doing that. No group is.
They're not. No group but us. It's only us. It's only us.
Yes. Hold on. But no. There is a homogeny happening with women, right? Where there are women, right, who go through the academic system who are coming out with these views, and then they look back at the Latino women are saying the machismo, right? The other one is he's a chauvinist. That they are coming back with these thoughts about their men. The issue is that at the end of all of that, there's still a hierarchy when they go home. We do not have a hierarchy in most of our homes.
Nope, you're right. You're right. You get home and she telling you what to do.
Yeah,
that's what happens in y'all.
That's what you mean. If it's a woman telling you what to do, then you do have a hierarchy. It's a woman, and that's
right. So yeah, right, Payne. So now I'm wondering, okay, are we making it official, or are we coming to terms, an emergence in the Black community that we are a matriarchal community?
Hold on, let me say this, Tyrese. Let me say this.
I think so.
It seems like that's coming up a lot, Payne. It's coming up.
No, I mean, I know that back with BMU said he was going to answer.
Yeah, let me tell you what
assume in our community that go ahead and say what you're going to say.
No, I want to say this is what my brother said. My brother said this to his girlfriend. He said, and I told him she was toxic, but they broke up. Anyway, he told her, he said, you talk to me very disrespectfully. He said, if the laws didn't protect you, would you still talk to me the same way? If you know that you can pick up that phone and call White Daddy and have me arrested, or you can, or he said, if the laws didn't protect you, would you still be trying to emasculate or disrespect me? And I said, my older brother said, no, they would not. Imagine if a woman knew I ain't got nobody to call. This is my authority over me, my husband. How many women would look their husband in the face and say, you bitch ass nigga, you ain't shit? I just want to know. Yeah. Coco, how many women would do it if they weren't protected?
Oh.
Huh?
No.
It would be no emasculation.
Probably
none.
Or less, yes.
So that tells you something, right? That tells you that laws have been put in place to protect women's right to emasculate the fuck out of you. And there's nothing you can do about it other than pack your shit and leave.
Yeah, but it's
been hit you, spit on you. Well, not in Texas. Not in Texas anymore. In Texas, they say male or female put their hands on either person. The man has the right for full validity, 100%, to protect himself against that woman, and he won't go to jail. So the women are trying to now the domestic violence. Now this shit is dropping down. Google it. The Texas numbers are dropping in domestic violence because women know now. I can't call the police no more after I hit this man in the mouth and say that he gonna go to jail because her ass gonna go to jail.
So it has nothing to do with women's increased rate of firearm possession, right? That probably got nothing to do with it either.
Well, it probably has an increase because the lesbian
they practicing their Second Amendment rights because they could talk just as reckless as the men talk. Because guess what? That 308 is equal opportunity, bro. You know that.
Our pain was about to get somewhere.
Well, go ahead, Arpain.
Yeah.
Well, no, all I'm just trying to say is we you're talking in generalities. I just think that all women in America had to take advantage of all the laws that have been passed, from no fault divorce to this. But in the Black community in particular, we've been generationally scarred by the fact that we've had quote unquote matriarchy rule for at least 3 or 4 generations. I mean, even in my day, my house was filled with fucking women, man. And I loved them all. But I had to get out of there so I could be around men, so I could have somebody to talk to, right? You know, that's just the way my particular anecdotal living was, because I knew women couldn't teach me after a certain point, right? So, you know, there's a certain assumption in the Black community in particular that the Black woman is in charge. And not everywhere, because it's not in my household, And I would imagine it's not in BMU's household. So,
absolutely not.
Believe it or not, I'm not so sure it's in your household, right? I didn't ask my wife to be the leader of my family. I just assumed it.
But
you know,
our pain. She liked you and believed in you enough to just naturally let you assume it. Right?
She was raised that way.
Well, no, she didn't.
Pain. You telling me she didn't believe in you?
Let me answer that. She didn't let me assume it. I mean, if she couldn't live with that, we wouldn't be married.
Holy shit! So she saw the potential and the signs already, and decided to go forward with you, and you proved her right.
No. I'm saying yes. Okay. What's the point?
Come on, guys. God damn, bro.
Did you grow up in a single parent home? Warpain? Did your wife grow up in a single parent home?
No.
Okay. So then she had the mother and the father, and she was raised and probably saw her mother serve her father as if she's serving you, correct?
Sure. Yes, she did.
Okay. So I will look at it, and if you're not biblical or religious, this ain't for you. But even biblically, it says it is for the older women, the older mothers, to teach the younger girls how not to be drunk with wine, but how to serve their husbands. That's what it says. And so my thing is, your wife was raised that way. See, she saw her mama serve her husband, and now she's doing the same thing for you. These women now, they're competing, and Coco, you could probably attest. You could probably solve this.
Yes.
There are women now who are in their 50s, Tyrus. I know women who are in their 50s competing with their 30-year-old daughters, their 29-year-old daughters, wearing the same thing, the same heels, the same tight-ass clothes, got their same titties out, ass out. Back in the day, I went to my grandma's house. She had on a little moo-moo dress. She cooked us goddamn pancakes and fucking chicken and waffles, and we sat the fuck down and watched fucking Smokey and the Bandit. Now, when the daughter go out to the club, the 58-year-old grandmama going with her. They're fighting over the same men. They fucking the same men. We don't have, like Kosher said earlier, our women have lost their crown. What happened to the women? What happened even in that verse in the Bible where it says the older women teach the younger women? Where are the older women teaching the younger women? It don't exist no more because they're all on the same playing field.
Yeah, I think we missing a big piece of this. The dynamic.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I think we missing a big piece of the dynamic in the black community. That the black community or the black family did not survive feminism.
No.
Right. So once the black woman did not have to go through the black men, right, to have access to basically to money, then now how does she see the black man inside of America? Right? What is his value, right, in America? How is he seen in the power structure? Does she see him as valuable outside of his money? Because now what can the black woman do? She can go make as much money as a man. If we break down the stats, the only reason they don't make as much money as men is because they don't work as many hours, right? So she just has as much of a financial ceiling as a man does. So how does she value him? Is he valuable in the United States of America? But we know the white man is valuable because when we open up our history books, who was doing the conquering? Who are the presidents? What does a president look like? A white man. What is the value of a black man? So if a black woman is outside, right, and we all submit to capitalism, where is her value coming from that when she looks at the black man? What is her assessment? She said, okay, do I need him in my life? And I'm saying the answer is no right now. I'm saying that we have to be better, and I'm saying that it's going to be about money right now. We could talk about we're not going back to church, everybody. It's going to be money.
On that, though, I do have some pushback on that. I think all women have been affected by feminism, and this whole thing about the white man being on top, right? In recent years, that's a false flag because a lot of them are broke as hell, and they get a lot of their and their women don't respect them either.
Right. You think hold up, Arpain? Do you think the white boy that wear Dickie shorts and work boots every day? You think the white boy that wear Dickie shorts and work boots every day would trade places with you?
Listen, I don't know. I wouldn't trade places with them.
No. I know, right? Because you have pride in being a black man. I'm saying that my assessment is that you're probably doing better off than a blue collar white man.
But hold on, brother. I'm not disagreeing with your point about a hierarchy in the past. But let's not pedestalize the average white man today. Them motherfuckers are.
I'm not pedestalizing. I'm saying that he has an inherent value.
Because
he is attached.
Value of the modern day white man.
He is a
home about. I'm telling
you. No. So okay. So you saying that okay? Hold on. So you saying that the white, there is no perceived value to the white man in America?
No, I didn't say that. I said
it depends on which white man, because not all white men.
When you a white man, I'm saying that a white man knows that there is a value to being white in America.
Hold on. No, I would have to disagree, because a poor white man is not seen or is not valued as much as really right now. What's going on is more classism than things being race based.
Yes.
So what? It's about money.
Yes.
I'm saying that even if we break down the money, more of them have money than us.
Dan, did you think a woman, right, will turn down a black lawyer and marry a hillbilly because he's white?
No. I'm saying that you have to be firmly in the middle class as a black man to have value.
Well, that's any man, though.
That is not any man. No, it's not.
Let me say this real quick.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
A rural white man does not have more value or is not looked in society better than a middle-class black man. They're not, in terms, if we're just looking on the surface level, they're not. And
so if you think if we had to look at the statistics, do you think that the poor white marriage rate is higher or lower than the poor black marriage rate?
What does that have to do with? I'm talking about.
If we're saying that the money is the same, the value is the man.
No. Both of them are not valuable in society. They're not valuable.
But why is one getting married more than the other?
Can I answer that, Coco? Let me answer that, Coco.
Marriage is valued more in their society. Not because of money, though.
The poor white woman don't have no problem marrying a poor white man. Our poor black woman still want a high value man. Right, so we have 3s and 2s in the black community thinking they're going to score the big one with a rapper or some shit like that. So the middle class black men a lot are invisible to a lot of women.
So anybody, does anybody know? Does anybody know Professor Joy DeGruy?
Yes, I'm familiar.
You familiar with her? She said something about the power dynamic or what you guys were talking about just now, and I want to just add that in there. She said this. She said the reason that when she has traveled to Japan or to China to teach, he says that she has run into racism all the time. She was just doing a video on a lady who went to Japan, and the Japanese lady said, "Nigga, try their clothes on or no," right? How they were talking to the woman when she was trying on clothes in the store. She said the reason that black people are not respected because black people have not collectively been violent enough to get the respect. And she broke it down by saying this. She said when the white man went over and dropped the damn bomb, the Hiroshima bomb on their asses, right now a white man can go over there and have the utmost, they respect them. She said the white people are respected. She said she's been there for months teaching, and white people from America are treated like they fucking royalty. She said the niggas are treated like niggas because the niggas got a history of being owned, talked to any kind of way, slaves, disrespected. She said that's how we're known by them, and they treat us just as such. She said, but the white people, they're, hey, how are you? Can we help you? Is there anything that you need? She said because they feel like white people can conquer, and if you piss them off, they'll take everything from you.
So BMU, from your overall point, I understand where you're coming from, and I slightly agree. Here's why. This is kind of a side note, guys. I really need my fellow Americans, and I guess specifically,
you sound like you're running for president.
My fellow Black Americans to stop using the Japanese for a lot of examples, simply because with all the stuff they got going on, they are second behind South Korea in repopulating their country properly, their birth rates. So in the next 100 years, guys, they're going to exist in memory only. Right, they have one of the most. They have a higher work hour rate than we do. BMU, That's one of the countries where you can't reinvent yourself like here in America. You lose your job once, that's it. Right? And so on top of that, stop using the Japanese, because go ask the Koreans, the Chinese, the Cambodians, the Filipinos, the Vietnamese, and the Singaporeans about the Japanese and all the crap they did leading up to World War II. They are not a great, I'm saying every culture got its up and downs. So let's hold off on that.
They were brutal, man.
Now, I will say this too. I will add this. We talked about earlier. You said, what about the women's? And we told you that other countries and other people don't talk about their women in that way. In China, they have a term called Xingnu, which means leftover women. Leftover women are not allowed to, I'm reading it right here. It's a Chinese term and urgent educated, speaking about women who choose careers over marriage and bearing children. They call them leftover women. They are not allowed to marry. They're not allowed to be in population. They're not allowed to, they say the stigma pressures women to prioritize marriage over careers or else. They're called leftover women. So over there, they're not playing that shit in China.
But the problem is, BMU, that was China's own making, because remember, the reason they're having a birth rate problem is because of that dumbass one-child policy they had, where they was literally killing off the girls in favor of the boys. So we got like hold on, BM. You know what I mean?
I got you. I agree.
Like this is just a problem that the men in charge created, and now they're trying to rectify.
I agree. So but again, man, I appreciate you guys having this conversation tonight, man. And we're going to have a show Friday, right? Because we do Tuesdays and Fridays. And I know Tyrus is going to love this one. Tyrus, on Friday, the name of the show is going to be the Democratic Party, the Party of Emasculation. And so we're going to talk about the Democratic Party. And by the facial expressions right there, I think you're going to be on your own on this one, Tyrus.
Wait, Tyrus, which branch of the military did you serve?
U.S. Army.
Thank you.
You're a Democrat too?
Oh, thank you, Coco. Appreciate it. And nice meeting you for the first time, by the way. Nice stopping up with you.
Yes, nice meeting you.
Yeah, so we're going to have that show on
nice
Friday.
Talking over you? Did you say nice talking over you? Is that what you said, Tyrus?
No, he said nice meeting. He was being a gentleman. He was being a gentleman.
And so I think that's a conversation we need to have, because I've been hearing a lot of I think it's a lot of fear. In the morning I get up and listen to radio, and whatever's on, I just listen. And I hear a lot of fear mongering from the Democratic Party, basically, especially these radio hosts. And they just sat here and said, listen, they making us use more IDs, and I promise you we're going to be, listen, slavery is right around the corner. That's what I heard on the radio this morning. They're going to put us back in the fields, and they took our voting, and we're going to be back in the fields. And you see, the John Deere's, the people don't even own their equipment no more. So now they're going to need bodies on the ground, and it's going to be us back. And I'm like, what the fuck? And
the Supreme Court decision was one of the best things that ever happened to the Black community. That Supreme Court decision gets us off the plantation big time, because everybody with brown skin ain't somebody you're supposed to vote for. And
say that again.
And you tell me one thing that the Congressional Black Caucus has done to further Black people in this country.
That wasn't to further a Black or brown politician. That was to enable minority voting. Like
well, Tyrus, I don't know how y'all feel about voting. I don't know how y'all feel about voting, but I believe we've been voting. We've had the right to vote for probably 150 years, 160 years, correct?
No.
I believe
the right
on paper.
The actual right, and the spirits has only been maybe 70 years, BMU.
Okay, so let's say 70 years. So 70 years, in 70 years, we voted. People have gone out in droves. We've had presidents say, hey, if we give these niggas the civil rights, we'll have these niggas votes for the rest of their life, right? I believe that we've been voting for the last 70 years, and we're still at the bottom.
No doubt.
It's because our population
We've been voting Democrat for the 70 years, and we're still at the bottom.
BMU, respectfully,
That's it.
We're
Save it for Friday. Save it for Friday.
Depending on what census you want, depending on what census you want to use, it's either between 13 to 15%. That's our total population, right? And then we need to pair that with the fact that we have one of the lowest voter turnout demographics in the country.
Well, because you got
so there's we got layers to deal with.
We'll say this for Friday, but I'll say this and then we'll leave. The new voters, these new kids, these new young people. Did y'all see what they did to Al Sharpton and what's his name? The other black guy, short, bald head,
Roland Martin.
Yeah, you see these young people getting up out the audience and saying, "We're not fucking voting no more because we ain't getting shit." And you old slave niggas was voting and y'all didn't get a motherfucking thing. You ain't getting our vote unless we see some bread. You want our vote?
We didn't get nothing. It's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
hey,
bro, me and Truce linking up, bro. It's us against the world, bro.
Yeah,
y'all crazy, bro. If y'all think that all of these niggas that got money, we ain't got nothing, right? The black woman got the most home ownership, and we ain't get nothing. Everybody going to school when they want to go to school, and we ain't got nothing. Everybody is fine as an individual. What handout are we looking for? And I bet not hear from a conservative talking about what we getting from the government. I'm ready for Friday. I don't even know if you plan on having it, but I love to be there, bro. And I'm gonna have a Nerf, slap me on the head.
Please, bandit, please.
Come get this spanking on Friday.
Hey, oh yeah, they're gonna get their toe up on Friday. But I'm gonna tell you this, y'all. All of y'all, Coco, Tyrus, Arpain, and JT, everybody else will be here on Friday. So I'm gonna send all y'all the link for Friday. I'll have everything ready by tomorrow. Tyrus, send me the title of your show for tomorrow too. And if y'all want to come chill with Tyrus, because you want to get you want to get some practice in with Tyrus, his show is tomorrow right here on this network as well. I don't know what his title is for tomorrow, but he'll be here tomorrow at what is it, 8:30?
Yeah, I think the show is called Beige Rage.
Oh my God. Bro.
No, I think the show is going to be called Black Men, Do You Qualify to Be a Black Woman?
Man,
He'll be
it's gonna be at
tomorrow.
10 o'clock though. 9 o'clock Central. Yeah.
9 o'clock Central. Yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern. So make sure y'all come in and support him. If y'all want to come up, he'll have the link out and y'all can have that conversation with him. I don't know what you talking about tomorrow, Tyrus. You know?
We're gonna do a lot of updates on the Iran war. Talk about some AI takeover with the robots getting way better, guys. It's getting scary. We're gonna do some updates.
Hey, I need you to find a video tomorrow and show the video of that restaurant in Seattle ran 100% by robots.
Yeah, dog. Oh, yeah.
Have y'all seen? Did y'all see the half marathon with the robots? It was a half marathon with just robots, and they showed only 2 robots finished last year, and then half the robots finished this year. It's going fast with the technology.
Bandit, when you watch them run, how fluid, if you get what I mean, how natural.
No, it wasn't a lot of knee lift. Right, they wasn't getting any propulsion on the knee lift. It was a scoop, but a fast a ski type of.
Right.
Scoop.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll text you too, so you can have my number, bro. But yeah. So anyway, and then I saw Sean Ryan. I don't know if y'all watch his podcast. Amazing podcast. But Sean Ryan had the guy on his show who created the robots for the homes. That's going to be in the homes next year, and he went down the laundry list of things that the robot does. He's fold clothes. He walks the dog. He knows how he knows how long to walk the dog. He washes dishes. They pushed him to try to make him fall. He catches himself and picks himself back up.
Does he pick up the dog doodle?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. Hey, dude, go watch this. It's Sean Ryan AI. Just type Sean Ryan AI robot, and you'll watch the whole episode. It shows everything that fucking robot does: dishes, cleaning the floors, mopping the floors, sweeping, washing clothes, taking the clothes out the dryer, folding the clothes, putting the clothes on hangers. The fucking shit is amazing, bro. And he said those robots are going to be $150,000 for $150,000 a piece. And I guarantee you, people are going to invest in those goddamn things. I don't care what nobody say.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow.
$150,000 to have somebody around your house washing your dish, sweeping your floor, mopping your floor every day.
Yeah, I just don't want to wake up with a robot looking at me.
And look at you and say, "You're not going to charge me, motherfucker."
Nah, they gonna ask you, "Do you need some help with that?" That's what they gonna ask you.
Hey, BMU, I'm getting that robot. First thing I'm doing, putting a fitted cap and some Timberland boots on it, bro.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, let's go.
But you know what would be crazy? If the robot would check your wife. Like, say, for instance, the robot walked up to your wife and said, Tyrus, his hormone levels are very high today. He's very horny. He would love to have sex with you today, and you need to have sex with him today.
Bro, that would have the women running out the house in horror, dog. Oh no!
But it could go the other way too, right? Because on they watches and their phones, they tracking everything else. So
that's true.
Yeah. So
on that note, fellas,
he said by 2035. He said the technology is growing every day, just like what you just said, Tyrus. He said by 2035, 2040. The robots will definitely be taking the kids to school, dropping them off, coming back to the house, locking the doors, and clean the whole house up while you're at work. You come home, house is clean, dinner started, all type of shit. He said, just give it about 10, 15 years. That fucking robot will be doing everything a human can do.
Hey, man. Well,
so anyway, we'll talk about that Friday. I'll send everybody the link for Friday. We're going to talk about these Democrats. And I want to say this to everybody watching right now. If you're in the house with a person who's trash, you work with a person who's trash, if you're doing podcasts with people who's trash, whatever, I need you to say this to them tomorrow, and then we out.
I got a question cause I really need to know. Do you ever get tired of being a bitch ass nigga? A hoe ass nigga. A pussy ass nigga. A pussy ass nigga. Do you get tired? Do you get tired? Do you get tired?
All right, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all on Friday. We out.
Yeah. Black Man Unfiltered Network. We ain't here to play nice. We here to flip everything they told you was normal. Hey! Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we flipping tables. Yeah. We breaking labels. Facts. No more silence, no more favors. Truth hit hard, can't save it. Yeah. We flipping tables. This that real, no cable. Hey, if it's fake, we unplug it. Welcome to the table. Yeah. I came in the room, they was comfortable, quiet. Smiling in your face, but behind it is riot. They told me be calm, but I'm built for the storm. When the truth in the building, you better transform. They don't like a man when he speak with direction. They love you when broken, confused, and correction. But I'm on a mission, I'm changing perception. No filter, no fear, just raw intersection. System designed just to keep you disabled. Mentally trapped, spiritually labeled. I'm cutting the cords, the lies getting fatal. If it ain't the truth, I'm flipping in the table. We flipping tables. Yeah, we breaking labels. Facts. No more silence, no more favors. Truth hit hard, can't save you. Yeah, we flipping tables. They said don't question, I said watch me. Too many men out here living sloppy. No guidance, no code, no structure, no lead. Now we wonder why families bleed. This ain't hate, this accountability. Look in the mirror with this vulnerability. Masking and frame with responsibility. That's what they fear, that's stability. I'm calling it out, no sugar, no glaze. We breaking these cycles, we shifting in the phase. Legacy built, not lost in the maze. We done being silent, we entering rage.
This ain't just a podcast, it's a movement. It's a reset. If it's built on lies, it gotta fall. We flipping tables. No fear, no fables. Black men rise, we stable. Now we changing the label. We flipping tables. Truth is non-negotiable. Black man unfiltered. This the voice they ain't controlling. Flippin Tables Podcast. Black Man Unfiltered Network. If it don't make you uncomfortable, it ain't real.